24, well, you know what it is. Looks like 65 going southbound is really gummed up right there at Old Hickory Boulevard. And then looking up here, Mount Juliet Road, either side of I-40, it is stop and go. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome in. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, underway for another day. Wednesday edition in progress right now. It's 3:07. Thank you for being with us. Whatever time you're giving us, we're thankful for it. Whether it's 5 minutes or the full 4 hours, we're here till 7 o'clock tonight. Give us a call. Join in on the conversation. As always, that is our favorite part of the show. My favorite thing to do is to engage the listening audience on the telephones or on the super text line. You can also hit us up on social media platforms. Those are in abundance. We've got @Matt Murphy Show. I'm on the Twitter quite a bit. Hold on a second. I'm on the Twitter quite a bit as I love delving into awful places full of awful people saying awful things and just wallowing around in it. And that's what Twitter has become, the poor X machine. You say good morning. What a beautiful day outside, and you'll get a lot of people telling you that you're going straight to hell in a handbasket. But anyway, we're there @Matt Murphy Show. You can also find us on Facebook and a variety of other platforms. And then we're on iHeart, Spotify, TuneIn, our own app, SuperTalk 99.7 WTN, and then Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. For what it is worth, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. We would love it if you go over there and give us the old like, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever you do to support our digital platform. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What is it costing folks today, Ken Weaver?
Absolutely nothing, boys. Yeah.
There's the voice of Ken Weaver. He gathers headlines for a living, delivers them twice an hour, and when it breaks, he also tells us how much our Talk TV costs. What's up, Ken? How are you?
How about you, boys?
How was your evening last night?
It was all right.
Yeah?
I saw the tornado warning for Dixon County.
Brief, but I took notice of it, too. I got my phone nearby.
And
started to get my Ethernet cable out at the house, and I said, hold on, Murphy, don't jump too quick. But
hold on now. Yeah, it kind of petered out.
Yeah, it did.
There was some rotation, but then it was just real weak. And it just kind of petered out, and then the rest of the night, it was just heavy rain and thunder.
Yeah, a lot of rain in the area, and I suppose we need it. I'm told that we remain in something of a drought. I can't imagine how that is, considering all of the rain that we've gotten in the midst of the summer, but it is what it is. We got an absolute deluge in the beautiful Mount Pleasant.
Oh, yeah?
Deluge down there, boy. Man, oh, man. I know that it's bad when my the water starts creeping up in the driveway toward the door of the den.
Yes, sir.
Because I've got a drain. I've got a huge drain in my driveway that drains off to another part of the yard underneath the yard.
Right.
And if that starts getting backed up, boy, it can back up pretty quick. It's not done anything to get near the den quite yet.
Yes, sir.
But I'm like, man, I know that it's a pretty fair amount of rain in a very short amount of time when I see the water just creeping up. You know how it goes.
You might need to snake it, Brother Murphy.
Creeping up. You know, I thought about that, Ken.
Snake it.
There's a lot of satisfaction in one of those snakes. And they make them now with cameras. No, when I had my house inspected.
Right.
No, when I had my house inspected,
yeah.
My inspector said that he wanted to snake to the road. He wanted to snake the sewer pipe to the road.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not going to charge you because I got this new snake that has a camera on the end of it. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. It is very similar to watching someone get a colonoscopy. You know what I mean?
In more ways than one.
Well, yeah. I mean, because it's like, fine, nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what is that? Fine. It's awful down there.
Yeah.
You don't want to see down there.
No, sir.
Mm-mm.
You don't want any blockage.
That's fair.
You don't want any blockage
That's
whatsoever.
Fair. No, you got to work. You know what it is? Those dastardly roots.
Roots, yes, sir.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to find out for my house that my house was built long enough ago that the pipes that were originally used to take the sewage from the house to the road were, I guess, iron.
Yeah.
Does that feel right?
Yeah, you're not getting through that.
But they've been replaced. They've been replaced with what I'm told is superior. Actually, the iron corrodes, Ken.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, they say that the iron. It's not a matter of the tree roots getting in. It's a matter of the corrosion that occurs that can cause a
plaque
problem
in your arteries.
Yeah. Or not eating right, and diverticulitis can do that too in the human body.
Whew.
Got to watch that diverticulitis.
Well, you don't want to mess with that.
You don't want to. Speaking of that, Ken, do we have an update on explosive diarrhea
Yes,
summer?
sir. I do have an update for you, boys.
Yeah, what's going
There
on?
are now more than 11,000 cases that health officials are tracking in 41 states, including Tennessee. And they're expecting more cases. Now, the FDA is still investigating this lettuce that came up from central Mexico that Taylor Farms apparently distributed out. But, they're not blaming Taylor Farms.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have 4 people now suing Taco Bell.
Wait. They're suing Taco Bell.
Yeah, they're suing Taco Bell for their explosive diarrhea as a result of the cyclosporiasis parasite.
Well, isn't that I feel like that it is. It's kind of an expectation. I mean, what am I trying to think of? It's kind of a restaurant hazard. I mean, it's a known potential outcome of eating Taco Bell. That you might have the EGIDS, the extreme gastrointestinal distress.
Yes, sir.
Suing Taco Bell. Well, you know what? We are a litigious society, and
I mean, how are they going to?
That's a great question,
How are
Ken.
they going to win that?
Well, you know what? I learned a long time ago. Hey, Jackson, you know what it takes to file a lawsuit in the United States of America?
$140 and an orange crayon.
Well, a crayon color of your choosing, but crayons will do. Pens, pencils. You could type it up at an old school typewriter, an Underwood, if you will.
It'll be orange when I'm governor.
Well, by the way, how's that going for you?
Probably not good.
You ready to debate?
We will see if my opponents are ready to debate.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are not, we will back out because I'm told that's what we're doing, right?
That's exactly what you do.
Okay.
You say you'll debate anyone, anywhere,
anytime, unless I don't feel like it.
The one that I actually want to debate doesn't debate, and then I'm not debating anybody.
Or the rookies on that night.
That's an important consideration, particularly for you. You're a big rookie fan. How's that going? New season out or
No, not till January.
Summer hiatus right now?
Not till January.
Scrubs
coming back in August.
Well, what?
Scrubs
has been gone forever, right?
Yeah, but they brought it back last year.
Because there's no new ideas?
Pretty much. But it's great. I love Scrubs.
Y'all, can we talk about network television?
We can. This is a conversation I love. I could do network television for 4 hours.
Really?
I could do 4 hours on network TV.
Well, okay. Well, by the way, Ken, yes. Jackson Williams is a Benedict Arnold, sir. A Benedict. He's turned against us. He's turned against me, at least.
How's that?
Well, because he comes in here, and it's his job to title the show over on the Talk TV side of things, and it's a science what they do over there.
Yes, sir.
Because they've got to take some of my content and turn it into something that's going to lure people in through the. Ken, you ready for this? Through the algorithm.
Through the algorithm.
Oh,
yes,
you got to take care of that algorithm, Ken.
Oh, yes, sir. We got to take care of that algorithm.
So we're trying to lure folks in vis-a-vis the algorithm on the Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. And so Jackson comes in before the show and says, what are we talking about today? And I was like, well, I was thinking about tent. Rolls his eyes.
Yeah, I'm sick of the tent conversation.
Rolls his eye. Oh, please, God, not talk about the tent again.
That's not what it sounds like.
And I'm like, Jackson, you are a big government. You're big government. You're nanny state government.
How does 6 hours of tent? And I'm tired of it.
It was not 6 hours of tent. It was maybe 20 minutes.
It was 6 hours of tent and then 2 gubernatorial interviews that were lovely.
Maybe 45 minutes of tent conversation. Maybe.
It's at least 2 hours.
By the way, I have a senator in the General Assembly that said that they're willing to carry my bill on tent.
All right.
Because there's a serious side to this, and here it is.
Yes, sir.
And y'all, I've decided I'm not going to challenge it. I think I could challenge it on the basis that I am not a tent expert. If you haven't heard it, and I'm not going to belabor it. We're not talking about tent today, but here's what I'll say. Got stopped Monday for tent. Got a ticket for tent. Jackson, what are you doing, Jackson? I don't like these private conversations that Jackson has with Ken Weaver. I don't care for him, and I want to put an end to them.
He didn't say anything.
But he held his head down, and I think he hit the button and said something to you. I'm not really sure because there's a glare on his window.
You gotta look out, bro.
Don't you look around. Don't you you're busted, buddy.
Look out, Brother Murphy. Dan Mandis is starting to rub off on you, man. Dan was certain that Johnny B and I were having secret conversations.
I meant to turn my mic on just a second ago, and I said something to Ken.
So, Ken Weaver, that's funny and understandable.
You know it's true, right?
And it tracks. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the big difference is that when all is said and done, you and Johnny B might have been talking about Dan. And you and, what's his name? Jackson might be talking about me. The big difference between Dan and me is I don't care.
Yeah.
And Dan does.
I could just picture Dan, like inside Dan's head.
What are they talking about?
Him running through his monologue.
Are they talking about
But
me?
he's saying, I wonder what they're saying about me.
All right. Well, because in Dan's world, for me, here's the difference. Let me just peel back the carrot. For me, if Jackson starts talking to Ken Weaver, like during my monologue, my big thing is, why is Jackson not paying 100% attention to my monologue? It's such a good monologue. And he could learn a few things, and he should be just laser focused.
Do your monologue on the Vols' new 5-star, and I'll listen.
On my monologue. Dan, if Johnny B turns around and he's talking to Ken Weaver, and Dan would be like, what are they saying about me? What am I doing wrong? Like, for me, it would be, I'm doing so good. This is such an awesome monologue. Why is he not listening? For Dan, it would be the opposite. It would be, this monologue must blow because nobody's listening to me in there. That's the big difference between Nashville's Morning News and Matt Murphy. Matt Murphy thinks too much of himself. Dan Mandis thinks too little of himself.
And the answer is always right in the middle.
And the answer is always somewhere in the middle. Sure. All that to say, in all seriousness, it is not my job to know if tent is legal or not when I buy a vehicle in the state of Tennessee. And it is ridiculous that the government has the ability. And all of these excuses are just that. They're excuses. You can't tell me that it's a health and safety issue with the tent when government officials are allowed to have whatever color tent they want, and they make exceptions all the time for them. You can't tell me that it's necessarily a health and safety issue for the police officer themselves, because those police officers have like a gajillion lumen flashlights, and that could literally go through this wall and shine on the other side of the wall. So I don't buy that for a single second. So I want legislation that requires that a car dealership, if they sell you a vehicle that is over the legal limit on tents, that they just have to disclose that. Not that they have to remove the tent, not that they can't sell the vehicle. They just have to tell you, hey, by the way, they can't let you drive off the lot if you're driving a vehicle that doesn't have a blinker that's working. They can't let you drive off the lot if the vehicle is in some way inefficient or unable to pass code in the state of Tennessee regarding basic operational function. So why would they let you to do that? They just need to pass a law to make it a requirement that if you're a car dealer, that you have to tell me, hey, this tent's not legal. You do with that what you will, but because I'm not a tent expert, you jerks. All right, enough on that. 20 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Can we have, when we return, late in the show yesterday, after we spoke to so many of our wonderful guests, we had a wonderful conversation with Monty Fritz. I hope you heard it. If not, I'm certain that Jackson has the standalone on Talk TV.
It is.
With Monty.
You were trying to catch me, weren't you? Both John Rose and Monty Fritz are out.
Dadgummit. Kenny got me. How dare he do his
and
job
I
well?
normally only say this at 5:35, but up yours.
Oh, well, that's not very nice.
You got to watch that, Brother Jackson.
Jackson, I tried to catch him with his pants down, and he pulled my pants down.
And now we're both
works.
in our underwear.
And now we're both in
and
our
Ken
underwear.
Weaver's shirtless.
But that's every day. So, yes, if you want to see the interview, the standalone with Monty Fritz or with John Rose, they're up and running on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, and I invite you to do that. But in the aftermath of all of that, in the 6 o'clock hour, I had a few concerning questions regarding the latest developments in the Middle East, the latest developments in Iran. And one of my concerns was over the shifting narrative and the shifting goalposts within the Trump administration. Now, I am way beyond having to recertify my Trump bona fides every single time we talk about this. But I'm equally fascinated with the percentage of the audience that can't seem to handle a conversation that might be in some way negative about decision-making within the Trump administration. I don't expect to agree with the Trump administration all the time. They're doing 160 different things a day, if not more. I mean, they're making decisions that could impact our lives on the regular. And I agree with most of them. I am fascinated with the number of people that run away from the conversation that we need to have. Can we not have a rational conversation about Iran and what's going on over there and how it's changed from February till today? And this all started with me being mildly critical of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, who sat before the United States Senate and argued that we've been at war with Iran for 47 years. Well, we've not been at war with Iran in this traditional sense for 47 years. Iran has been an adversary. Iran has been a sponsor of terrorism. Iran has killed American military servicemen. Iran has killed American people. Iran should be held to account for all of those things. Iran is an enemy of the United States of America. Iran is an evil and bad actor. Iran does not need to get nuclear weapons. Iran needs regime change. The Iranian people would benefit over that. All of those things are certainly true. But you know why I know that we haven't been at war as we traditionally understand it with Iran for the last 47 years? Because if we had, Donald Trump would have championed a campaign in 2016 on stopping it. If we had, our man, President Donald J. Trump, would have been on the stump demanding that he could negotiate a better deal and extract us from the conflict in 2024. And those things were not happening. Now, I still maintain hope and optimism for a good outcome on this, but I don't see how it is going to happen necessarily. And I do believe that this is a problem that needs to be solved quickly, definitively, and I don't know that a tit-for-tat, Strait of Hormuz bridge exchange is the way to get it done. Maybe I'm wrong. Donald Trump had a few things to say to the Iranian people, or the Iranian regime, I should say, this morning. We'll share some of those thoughts with you. Take your calls as well. AJ Rocky already lining up, 615-737-9986. Just the beginning of a Wednesday edition of the Matt Murphy Show. You're listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for King & Associates Insurance, protecting what matters most. One of the best parts about King & Associates, I mean, they're good people. They have great products. They are accessible to you every day, all day. I thought that I had misplaced, this was, 2-3 weeks ago. I thought I had misplaced my insurance cards. I hit Emory up, and I had insurance cards in my email inbox 3 minutes later. I mean, that's the way that they get to it at King & Associates Insurance. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or a growing family, maybe you're just shopping for better automobile rates, they make it simple with no pushy salespeople, honest advice, personalized service. Here's the thing. I love that they're local. They're local, giving them the ability to shop a lot of different insurance companies. They don't work for the insurance companies. They work for you. That's the way that it ought to be, right? And at T King Insurance, you can go to the website kinginsurance.com, tkinginsurance.com, or give them a call and talk to somebody over the phone, 329-8121, 329-8121. King and Associates Insurance. As I always say, protecting what matters most. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy. U.S. Pest is the best when it comes to pest control in your home and on your property. It's as simple as that. Our friends J.K. and Erica Brister love these United States of America, and that's good enough reason for me to go to U.S. Pest. But I wouldn't recommend them to you if they did not do a jam-up job with eliminating pest issues from your home, whatever they might be. Maybe it's roaches, spiders, perhaps you have a mice problem. Maybe your issue is with termites, or at least there's a concern regarding termites. Whatever your issue might be, fleas and ticks are a problem this year, particularly in our yards. They can do yard treatments for you, U.S. Pest as well. They've simply upped their game since they owned U.S. Pest, and they are expanding every single day. Great company to work for and great company to work with. That's the bottom line. U.S. Pest loves the United States of America, and they hate bugs. Two things you can take to the bank. Give them a call today at 590-1260. Tell them Murphy sent you. Remind them that Murphy sent you by saying, y'all love America and y'all hate bugs. You say that, and they'll know where you heard about U.S. Pest. USPest.com, USPest.com, or 590-1260.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Damage assessment continues after last night's storms across Middle Tennessee. Channel 4's Steve Mailing is in Mount Juliet, where a woman is thankful for neighbors who were worried about her family during last night's flooding.
She says despite just moving here 3 months ago, she was grateful to the unknown caller who made sure they were okay.
We actually haven't met any of our neighbors, so I don't know who it was, and it's refreshing to know that they were looking out for us, even though we hadn't met anybody yet.
So police officers were also busy. Mount Juliet police posting this dash camera video of an officer carrying a woman trapped in her car in rising waters to safety. I have checked back in with police. I actually just spoke with Chief Tyler Chandler just a couple minutes ago. He tells me that since all the water is gone, all the roads are back open and back to normal today as people still continue to pull some brush and get some ponding out of their yards due to last night's flooding.
Yeah, right here in Nashville, firefighters made 7 flood rescues. President Trump at a rally in Marietta, Georgia, claiming in front of a crowd of supporters the U.S. is not affected by the oil tanker trade through the Mideast.
In fact, if you combine us and Venezuela, we have about 62% of the world's oil market. So we don't need straits. We don't need anything.
More from ABC's Karen Travers on the new threats President Trump has levied against Iran.
He wrote on social media that the United States would bomb one bridge or power plant anytime Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, notably in that threat, he didn't mention any potential repercussions if Iran was going after U.S. assets or allies in the region, which of course is what we continue to see every time the United States strikes at Iran.
Well, this story will not help quell the public's suspicions about artificial intelligence. ABC's Jim Ryan says the technology recently slipped its leash.
OpenAI says it's enhancing its internal security after one of its advanced artificial intelligence models escaped its testing environment, gained internet access, and then stole login credentials from a startup tech firm. In its own statement, OpenAI says it expects this kind of incident to become more commonplace.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, drivers. Got an accident, Fessler's Lane at I-40. Donaldson, a crash now, Lebanon Pike at Fairway Drive. And then in Smyrna, got a stalled vehicle on the left shoulder, 24 eastbound at Almaville Road. And then in Westmead, a crash, Old Hickory Boulevard, just south of Ridge Lake Parkway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. The Tennessee Men's Clinic started in 2014. Is it 2012 or 2014? I always get that confused. They started well over a decade ago. I think it was 2014 in Nashville, Tennessee. Midtown, matter of fact. Evan Bass started his clinic because he believed in quality, urologically based health care for men who were suffering from energy loss due to testosterone loss and other factors in their middle age that could potentially impact them, not just in their intimate lives, but most importantly in their intimate lives. That's what it's all about. We don't shy away from this conversation, men, and you shouldn't either, because we want to get you back in the game. We want to get you back to life as you understood it when you first engaged with that significant other of yours, when you first got married. That's what it's all about at the Tennessee Men's Clinic. So they're here to help. And for less than $100, you walk through the doors of the clinic, you'll get a complete examination, a conversation about what's going on. They'll take a little blood work, figure out what's happening inside of the body. Is it testosterone-based or not? And then they go to town figuring out a tailored approach for you to help you get off the bench and back in the game. That's what it is about. Cool Springs is a location they opened up. Clarksville, they opened up afterwards, and the brand new spot in Murfreesboro. Give them a call for any of these locations for an appointment at 615-208-9090, 208-9090 for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know, I realized something on the monitor behind us. If we wanted to get a news feed going on, I got my YouTube TV account. You know what I'm saying?
Or you watch cartoon or network TV.
So, are you a network television fan, Jackson?
I end up watching a good bit of it.
You know, back in the day, Jackson, when Ken Weaver and I were just lads.
I know, it was only radio, and President Roosevelt would come up and, do his fireside chats.
Hey, Ken.
Before y'all would go get in the bread line.
All right, that's that's fair. Hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
When you and Jackson are talking behind my back about Dan Mandis,
yes,
which is what I'm convinced you're talking about. Has Jackson ever done his Michael Jackson impersonation to you?
yes,
Has he done it today, Ken?
he did.
Uh-huh. What did you think of that, Ken? Because
I thought it was funny
it was funny.
because it was a Southern Michael Jackson
Yes, it's as if Michael Jackson grew up
in Tennessee.
on the plateau in the beautiful 3 states of Tennessee.
I mean, just imagine. Remember what Michael Jackson sounded like, but just put a Southern accent on it.
Yeah. What'd you say about the LAPD? I don't think he can. No, he's shaking his head. He can't repeat it. 4491 wants to know, Ken, can we rename explosive diarrhea? He's got a good name suggestion. You ready? The Blasty Ass.
Don't give me that idea because I want to do it. I want to say that in the newscast so bad I can't stand it.
What's the name of the other? What's the official name? I can't remember it.
It's cyclosporiasis.
Cyclosporiasis.
Yeah, and all the network TV shows, they call it severe stomach ailments. It causes severe stomach problems.
Why are the networks afraid to say explosive diarrhea?
I don't know.
I mean, what's wrong with diarrhea? Aside from the obvious, what's wrong with saying the word?
What's wrong with just calling it blasty ass?
I think I like blasty ass.
My gosh, I'm ruined now.
Every time you say explosive diarrhea, think blasty ass.
Gosh, I want to say that.
And I'll be thinking it. We'll all be thinking it every time Ken Weaver does a story about the explosive diarrhea. Y'all all think blasty ass. And every time we hear the Mark Pody jingle, think of how much Matt Murphy loves it. Dan Mandis and I almost came to fisticuffs over the weekend, Ken.
Why?
I might be exaggerating this story for effect, just mildly.
Yeah.
Dan did say this, and I don't know if he's talked about it on Nationals Morning News. On Saturday, we were out at Contours LLC.
Right.
We had a great conversation going on, and there's a lot of people coming in and out. We were having fun, and if you've not seen Dan in his video on the jiggler, you just need to go to my...
Jiggler.
He's jiggling, buddy. And anyway, so I made a comment to a listener. We were discussing politics and political ads, and the Johnny Garrett attack ad, the Van Hillary ad attacking Johnny Garrett as woke, came up. And they're like, how can they do that? And we were talking about that and just discussing it. And I said, apparently there's no law against it in federal election cycles. There is a law in the state of Tennessee against it. So if he was running for governor or lieutenant governor, I guess you don't run for lieutenant governor, but he couldn't do that. But he can do it in a federal election. Anyway, we're talking about all of this. And I said, you know what ad I love? And I think it was Renee, was her name? She said, what? And I said, that Mark Pody jingle. And Dan went, no! Now, let's make it clear. I am certain that Dan loves some Mark Pody. I mean, who doesn't?
Oh, sure.
We all love Mark Pody.
He's a great guy.
Great human being. Although I did talk to his political opponent in his race in the primary, who is going to be on the show next week, Buddy Baker, I believe his name is. And Buddy's a little mad with Mark because I think he said Mark wasn't going to run, but then Buddy put his... So Mark was thinking about not running, and then Buddy put his name in the hat, and then Mark decided to run. And anyway, we can discuss all that next week. So this is not personal against. Nobody is suggesting that Dan Mandis hates Mark Pody. Although I would not dislike it. It would not displease me if tomorrow morning someone texted or called Dan and said, Matt was saying that you hate Mark Pody.
Matt said bad things about you.
Matt said that you just have an unbridled anger in your heart for Mark Pody. Why? And just see how Dan reacts to it. Anyway, and I can say that with the full knowledge that Dan's probably in bed by now. So he's not listening.
He's probably getting ready.
He's getting ready. But no, in all seriousness, so the Mark Pody jingle, I don't know what it is about it. I love it.
I love that song. It's a great jingle.
It has to be a great jingle, Ken, because I think I can sing it to you. It's honesty, integrity. Join with me for Tennessee.
To help.
To help Tennessee? Is that right? Well, that doesn't flow very well. We need to workshop it. Anyway, honesty, integrity, join with me to help Tennessee. MarkPody.com. I mean,
It's catchy.
It's American.
It's in your head.
It's an earworm, as they say.
Yes, sir.
And Mandis hates it. Said he hates it. And he may at some point during the conversation have told me not to tell anybody this, but I can't really remember.
Well,
yes.
What's he running for?
Yes, Jackson. He is running for state senate.
Okay.
I think he's in your district.
No, he's not.
Do you know who your state senator is?
Heidi Campbell.
Jackson, of all of the things that you said on this radio show, that might have impressed me more than anything else you've ever said.
Well, I looked it up 2 days ago. I had to find out what district I was in.
You ruined it. I was impressed.
I got to keep my cool.
It's like, holy crap, Jackson knows who his state senator is. He's 26 years old. I guarantee you there is less than 1% of 26-year-olds could just off the cuff name their state senator and state representative in Tennessee.
I can't remember what the state rep was.
that's way to go, Brother Jackson.
I don't know either. I'm old. I'm Joey Hensley and Kip Capley. I was hoping to get Sapicki so that I could give Sapicki constant grief, but that's not going to happen, and Capley's too nice of a guy. Let's talk to AJ. He wants to talk debates. Hey, AJ, how are you?
Hey, I've been waiting forever to get on with you on this.
AJ, I appreciate your patience, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out of the way and hand you the floor.
Now, I am upset with Marsha Blackburn for several reasons, but this is one of the main ones. And John Rose, because they won't debate. In my opinion, a debate is like a job interview. They want our vote. They need to give the job interview to find out if we want to give them the job.
Yeah, I don't, AJ. I don't know if you have heard my take on this in the past several weeks.
Yeah,
it's very similar. This is not about the political candidates that you're running against. It's not about where you are in the polls. It's not about being up by 20 points or down by 20 points. You are, as you just very eloquently put, AJ, you are asking for a job, and you are sitting down in front of the boss that is in charge of giving you the job. A debate is a job application, and I want to see you on the stage. Now, some say, well, we see the campaign commercials and we can go to the website. No. I want to see the political candidate in an uncomfortable environment, in an unscripted environment, under the white hot spotlight that a debate brings with it, you know?
Just like a job interview brings with it.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
They want to know who they're hiring, and we want to know who we are hiring. So thank you very much. I've been wanting to get that off my chest for weeks.
Well, AJ, I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you called, and I'm right there with you. For those who might have missed it, and I've gotten a lot of blowback over this. I mean, I'm not anybody special. I'm just a loudmouth with the radio show in the afternoons on Super Talk 99.7 WT, and we talk about a lot of issues. We try to bring information of import to you. We have a good time doing it, but I just want to provide you with the information that you need to make reasonable decisions based on your life experience, based on your core convictions, based on your basic belief structure. And if we can do that, then we've accomplished something. And I hope that it's an important factor. I hope that at our best, we become a component of how you make decisions moving forward regarding politics. That's what we do on a daily basis. And, you know, and we have a good time. So I don't pretend that I'm any more important than the next guy. But I've gotten a lot of blowback over this debate thing from several key players and people. I am simply done with it. I have lived 26 years doing a talk radio show, holding my nose when these things come up, and they do from time to time, and I'm over it. Politicians use the media by holding access as currency against the media. And they they demand favorable treatment with media outlets. And oftentimes, if they do not receive favorable treatment, or if there is a perception of a slight, they will cut off access. And the higher up the politician goes, the more overt the cutoff is. So here's what I will tell you. I have no expectation that Marsha Blackburn will ever come on our radio show. And it doesn't bother me one bit. When I can... And I don't want to make it about Marsha, so strike that last comment. Political figures that use access as currency in the way that I'm seeing them do it over the last 15 or 20 years. Any of those political figures that are doing that, I would almost guarantee you that if they weren't here and you gave me questions to ask them, if you wanted me to play Marsha Blackburn, I could answer questions like I believe Marsha Blackburn would answer questions. Does that make sense? That there is a manner and there's a method to this kind of madness, I guess, where it becomes so rote and strategic and routine, and we call it stump. And so if we can't get beneath the surface on that, then there's no point in it. So I made the decision several weeks ago and it's just a personal decision, that if a political candidate, any political candidate, is not willing to, if there's no desire for it, I understand that, but if there is a desire for a political debate in a primary or a general election, and the voters want it, and the people obviously want it, you're applying for a job, I want to see you in the uncomfortable circumstance that a debate presents. If you're not willing to do that, then I'm not willing to vote for you. And that is not personal, and I still love you, and I still hug your neck, and I love Marsha Blackburn to death. And I'm certain that Marsha will be a fine governor when she is governor, and I have every expectation that she will be governor, and I have zero expectation that she will speak directly and independent of any script to the people of Tennessee when she is. Every media opportunity will be a set-up media opportunity. It will be carefully crafted, as most of these things are. And I'm not pretending. I mean, this is not, once again, let's be really clear, not about Marsha. It's about politics. It's about politics, generally speaking. From President Joe Biden to other political figures that we've seen over the years, Republicans are not immune from this. A decision to not debate in front of the people that you're asking for the job is a decision that you are going to be more beholden to the big money donors that hand you large checks so that you can go up on the airwaves, so you can present a very structured, carefully crafted narrative to the people of the state, as opposed to just speaking openly and honestly with the people of the state. And I'm not saying that they're not honest. I am saying that they're not open. And that is what it is. And it isn't about me. It's about you. It's not about me. It's about you, which is why I say, you know what, if you're not going to debate, then I'm not going to vote for you. And for those asking, yes, it applies to the general too. So if the Republican candidate comes out and they decide they don't want to debate the Democrat candidate, I think that you don't owe that to the Democrat. You owe that to the people of the state of Tennessee. And if you are confident in your beliefs, if you are rock solid in your basic core convictions, if you understand the issues in the way that you need to understand the issues, then you ought not to be scared to do that. You ought not to be leery to do that, because you say, I present myself to the people of the state of Tennessee every day. Well, then why won't you do it on a debate stage? What is it about the debate stage? Are you better than your opponents? Well, of course I'm better than my opponents. Then show me that you are. And if you're not willing to do that, that's fine. That's your decision. And guess what? I can't think of a single time that it's hurt a politician not to debate. But when they don't, in my 26 years experience, people get angry about it. And they say, this is wrong and we need to do... Well, it's not a matter of creating a rule. It's a matter of not voting for that which we say is wrong. On principle. And if you do it a few times, if a couple of politicians who maybe are in the lead choose not to debate and they get beat, maybe they'll wise up and wake up that the people want more responsive government. Donald Trump has changed the game, y'all. The authentic nature. Can you think of a politician more available to the American people than Donald Trump? Donald Trump will talk to anyone at any time about anything and will sit there for 3 hours and do it. Gone are the days of these carefully cultivated, crafted, scripted political campaigns, in my estimation. It just comes off as a little bit swampy when you do it the other way. 54 after the hour on Super Talk. What's up, friends? It's Matt Murphy. You know, if you have a special occasion coming up, I have something special for you, particularly if it's a marriage situation or maybe it's a reunion or perhaps it's just something special, a vacation or whatnot that you've got coming up at the end of summer or the beginning of fall. Contours LLC, specific to our brides-to-be, is giving a complimentary red light treatment so you can see firsthand what everyone is talking about. How about that? That's pretty cool, right? If you're worried about extra fat around your midsection, lines, tired-looking skin, you just want to look your absolute best on the big day, what a great opportunity to experience this for yourself. A lot of people came out to our event last Saturday and talked about the incredible nature of the technology that is the ultra-slim red light therapy that Contours utilizes. Well, here's what makes it exciting. Once you see the results, Contours can customize a package for you or your entire wedding party. The maid of honor, bridesmaids, mother of the bride, mother of the groom, anybody else that wants to be a part of this for the amazing day. So appointments are limited. So if you've got a wedding coming up, if it's 6-8 weeks away, you need to get on it and call Contours LLC, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960. Visit contoursllc.com to find out more. Contours LLC, helping you look picture perfect for that very special day. What do you have to lose? Butt inches.
4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and a traffic update in 5 minutes. Damage assessment continues after last night's storms in Middle Tennessee. Channel 4's Diana Rocco in Madison, where a sinkhole has shut down Pierce Road between Shannon and Palmer Avenues due to flooding.
Pierce Road is closed in both directions this afternoon, and you can see why. Debris still scatters the road where water came up over it. And when those waters receded, this giant sinkhole was left behind. It's now been blocked off, catching a lot of people off guard. They're having to make U-turns. We've been watching that happen all day long until NDOT can get out here and make some repairs.
Yeah, police in Mount Juliet made several water rescues, as did Nashville firefighters, about 7 in total in Nashville. Tropical storm Bertha has officially made landfall in St. Bernard Parish, about 40 miles east of New Orleans, but the storm is a slow burn, bringing lots of rain and strong winds to the Gulf region. Here's ABC's Victor Oquendo.
So far, we have felt the wind pick up more than anything. You can probably hear it. We are right along Lake Pontchartrain here in New Orleans. Very choppy out there. Bad day to be out on the water. Winds are gusting at about 25 miles an hour, and you can actually see some of those waves from the lake crashing onto Lakeshore Drive.
Back here in Nashville, plans for a data center near the zoo could face a new roadblock. Channel 4's Marius Payton says Metro Council approved new restrictions overnight.
So this vote could completely change what happens with that zoo area property. Now, new data centers must go in industrial areas, not directly beside neighborhoods, schools, parks, or other community spaces. Developers will also have to provide public notice, create emergency and backup power plans, monitor noise, and publicly report how much water and energy their facilities use. Now, DC Blocks closed on the property beside the Nashville Zoo just last week. However, council members said the company had not yet submitted new permits. If it applies now, the project will have to meet these new standards. So this could prevent the data center from being built there as currently proposed.
Health officials have released updated numbers on the cases of cyclosporiasis across the country. ABC's Yuri Benajad.
The CDC now tracking at least 11,000 cases in 41 states. Many of the additional cases have been reported by Michigan and Ohio. More than 300 people have also been hospitalized. The youngest of those sick, just 2 years old, while the oldest was 95.
Got a sad story here for you. A beloved bald eagle in Big Bear, California is in critical condition due to an injury. ABC's Alex Stone reports from Los Angeles.
A bald eagle named Jackie became an online sensation, along with her partner Shadow, as a live webcam has for years caught their nest activities, laying eggs and raising their baby bald eagles. But Jackie disappeared from the nest recently, leaving Shadow with their newest baby. She was found struggling in some water. Experts say she had been in a fight with other eagles. Jackie is at a rescue center now where her condition is said to be critical. The center says she has anemia and inflammation impacting her kidneys. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next on Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got an injury accident, Elm Hill Pike, right there at Murfreesboro Pike. And then Fessler's Lane at I-40. Harding Place at Trousdale Drive. That's an injury crash. Donaldson, Lebanon Pike at Fairway Drive. Smyrna got a stalled vehicle on the left shoulder, 24 eastbound at Almaville Road. And in West Meade, a crash, Old Hickory Boulevard, south of Ridge Lake Parkway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, buttoned down as always on this Wednesday edition. Happy to have you with us. Cameron Smith will be along coming up at about the 5 o'clock hour or so. Our usual visit with our good friend who writes over there in Conservative Closet at the Tennessean. We appreciate him. My name is Matt Murphy. I host the show on a daily basis. I don't know that I'm as good at scheduling the show as I am at hosting the show, but more on that in a moment. Jackson Williams is behind the glass, making sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. And behind the glass in News Closet B, young Ken Weaver. He gathers headlines, delivers them twice an hour, and when it breaks. And I've got some breaking news for you fellas. Anybody? No?
Let's hear it.
All right. Thank you, Ken, for picking me up there. Jackson, I appreciate you. Oh, no, I know what Jackson's working on. Jackson's working on setting up a shot because my breaking news, Ken, is I scheduled a guest, and I love seeing him in the studio with us, and you're going to love it, the fact that he's here too, Ken. You're going to love the fact that this person's here.
Awesome.
But I forgot that I had him scheduled, and thankfully, everything worked out. Because, my goodness gracious, at 52 years of age, almost 53, if I don't put it on my little phone calendar immediately when I do it, it goes boop out the window. Regardless of any of that, our good friend Charlie Hatcher, who is running for the 5th Congressional District seat in the Republican primary and is asking for your votes, has decided to stop by per schedule. And
per my schedule, not for your schedule.
And he is in studio with us. What is going on, Charlie?
Oh, it's been real fun here lately.
You having a good time?
I am. You know, it's been really surprising. What's surprising to me is the friends and relationships that I've developed through the campaign have been phenomenal.
I'm seeing a lot of your signs out in Murray County. I'm seeing that type of activity that I want to see in a competitive race, especially with an incumbent sitting in the seat. Are you excited about where the campaign's going and how it's trending to August 6th?
I'm really excited. I've never run for office before, but this feels good to me. It feels like the momentum is with us. We want to carry that with us all the way till the last vote is cast, and my entire team is working like a farmer and getting things done, and we're going to see it through.
Now, I promise you that I'm telling you the truth when I tell you that I forgot about you coming in today, and that's an admission. I'm not proud of it, but I'm telling you. But
worked out. At least you weren't double booked.
But here's the deal. Yesterday, your name came up in a very prominent fashion.
It did, and my phone's been blowing up ever since, so
I'm glad you're here. Well, what I said yesterday, for those who missed it, is that it was good to see that you received the endorsement from Governor Haslam.
Yes.
It's good to see that you've got that momentum, that race is more competitive. And frankly, I believe that, and I would say this to him were he sitting here, and if he comes in, I'll tell him that Congressman Ogles has been more performative than anything. It feels like his main focus has been to get headlines in the right publications and not to do things right for the people of the state of Tennessee. And if the Ogles folks want to take exception with that's fine. That's fair. I mean, they understand the nature of the political business that they're in. But I was saying that yesterday, and then here you are. I also said this, that I said yesterday, if the election were held today, that I'd be voting for Charlie Hatcher in District Number 5.
But the first thing that entered my mind.
What's that?
Why don't you go ahead and vote? Go ahead and vote early. Log it in. You never know when something might come up and you can't get to the polls. And that's one vote I need.
Well, Murphy, the election, it is being held today. And all you gotta do,
what is he thinking?
All you got to do is go. Well, I might stop on by before they close that down and before August 6th comes around. You always bring milk, man. Oh man,
I do, because it's the best recovery drink in the world, and in this hot weather, I mean, you have people here that need this. And so,
will you promise me that if you win this primary, well, win or lose, but when you win the primary and you shock Middle Tennessee in District 5, you'll come back on one day and we won't talk about politics at all. We will have a wonderful, friendly debate
on
milk.
Yes, it's a deal.
Because I wish I was more of a fan of milk. I'm not a fan of milk, Charlie.
Well, it leaves more for the rest of us. I mean, we are running out of milk this time of year because it's hot and the ladies don't like it, and so it leaves more for the rest of us.
Well, I mean, it's a testimony to the business that you have.
It is, because it's a trusted brand.
Well,
and that's what I want to bring to being a representative for the 5th District.
Well, I want to talk about that, but every time, and I bring your name up quite a bit. I mean, obviously, people know I'm in politics, and they want to talk about these political stories, and they'll ask me, and I'll say, well, what do y'all think about District Number 5? Charlie Hatcher's running. Every time your name comes up, the first thing that a Tennessean says to me is, I love his chocolate milk.
I know it. It's like,
I don't know what it is.
It's
what are you putting in that chocolate? What are you putting in that chocolate milk?
It's got a little bit of cocaine in it. Just be honest. I mean, well, I'll tell you what happened, and this is a true story. I don't drink much of it. I love it, but I drank.
Be careful.
You got to be careful. I mean, but a couple weeks ago, I drank a pint of it, and I said, "Oh my gosh, no wonder people like it." I mean, if you get this cold, ooh.
It's
spot on.
People absolutely love it. Tell me a little bit about why. I mean, I understand that you're Commissioner of Agriculture. Was that kind of the transition between the world of business into? I mean, because agriculture feels like that's a blend of you are a part of our government, but you are talking to business folks every day, particularly our farmers and people out in the real Tennessee. How did that transition to the decision to run for this district? See,
well, it's during that Commissioner of Agriculture period that I gained that experience with state executive level government, and that was a good mix with my background of being a small business owner, with the farming aspect too, the production side, the business side, and also the same thing on the veterinary side, and that gave me that experience. And then when you become engaged with the ag and forestry industries, it's all about, at least it was for me, economic development and job creation, and that fit right into Governor Lee's agenda. And so when he ran on rural matters, a big part of that, in many of these rural counties are farmland and forestry land and natural resources, and that's in my wheelhouse.
We were talking to, and I'm not asking you to necessarily comment on the governor's race. You got your own race to run, but we were talking to Congressman John Rose a couple of days ago about farming and about farmland, and he's very concerned that the amount of people that are coming into the state, that they're eating up our farmland. I'm blessed I have a motorcycle. I absolutely love my wind therapy, right? And I'm blessed to be able to get out on the motorcycle and ride. And I just kind of pick a direction and pick a small town I've never been to and ride to it on back roads. And Tennessee's, it's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And
it is.
And I don't know that it's at a I don't want to scare the heck out of people. But do we have a problem with overdevelopment in Tennessee? Are farmers threatened in our state?
Well, it's a big
question.
It's a big question, but it depends. So I was the one that sounded the alarm to the governor several years ago when I got back from was at a regional State Department of Agriculture meeting in Arkansas. Saw a presentation where by American Farmland Trust that said Tennessee is the third or fourth worst in the United States in loss of high-value ag and forestry land. And I thought, I wonder if that's right. And I didn't want to sound the alarm too loud. So when I came back, I got with University of Tennessee, and they, Dr. Charlie Martinez, an economist, looked into it, put some grad students on it, because not all the real estate transfer database or of each county is in the state database. So they had to go to actually some of the counties and pull the records. And lo and behold, it was worse. Mm-hmm. So Tennessee is second or third worst in the United States in loss of high-value ag and forestry land. And he did the calculations on it, 10 acres of farmland per hour.
Per hour.
So that's what
I haven't been commissioner of agriculture, but it feels like a lot.
And then when he put that together, it's equal to, over the last 20 years, several whole counties in landmass have been lost. And most of that is residential development. But that's not, it's very noticeable in Middle Tennessee, especially Williamson County.
Yeah, sure.
Because, so the answer to that in Middle Tennessee would be yes. I think there's been rapid growth with maybe not enough long-range strategic growth planning, and that's what's missing.
I felt like when I first moved here, which feels like yesterday, but it was December of 2021 when I first did my radio show, so I've been here almost 5 years now. And I was just driving around learning, just trying to learn, absorb as much as I could. And I felt like such an idiot. My good friend Cameron Smith, who's been here for a long time, and I knew him from Alabama, he's riding around with me one day, and we're going through these neighborhoods, and he's showing off these places. And I said to him, came out of my mouth, Charlie, why are so many of these subdivisions named farms? Like Johnson Farm. And
because they were.
And that's exactly what he said, because they used to be. I was like, oh, well, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you do see it a lot.
Yeah, but things have changed a little bit. When I first started as commissioner in 2019, 30 or 35 counties had lost population or were static. And when you have that, when those kids graduate from high school and they can't make a living on the farm and they don't have a high-paying wage at a job, what do they do? Mm-hmm. They leave. Mm-hmm. And so those counties were not doing too well economically. Fast forward to when I left in 2025, 93 out of 95 counties showed a population increase. So things have changed. Some of the counties begin to say, we've had enough growth.
Well, and broadening this out to what your role would be as a congressman, I mean, this is a good problem for Tennessee to have. I mean,
absolutely, because if you don't have growth, even Hatcher Family Dairy, if we don't grow year by year, what happens to our business?
Well, you go downhill, you go away.
It dies.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to the city of St. Louis. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
A couple decades ago, they were 8th largest city in the country.
Uh-huh.
Now they're 80th. 80th.
Just died on the vine.
They didn't plan appropriately. They weren't ready for the growth. They didn't have opportunities for businesses and people to come in, and they under or overcalculated, and they lost it all.
Well, while we're talking about farmland, I want to ask you this question, because it's become a point being brought up primarily in the governor's race, but I see it in other races, and that's the issue of farmland and Chinese ownership. And you and I talked just before we came on air. I was like, I'm not wrong here, am I, Charlie, that became illegal for China to own outright farmland in the state of Tennessee, and that is true?
You are correct. So Senator Frank Nicely, God rest his soul, was led to charge on passing a law that said that if any country is on the adversarial list for the Department of Treasury, they can't buy farmland in Tennessee. And furthermore, it's reported to USDA and Tennessee Department of Agriculture. And so when I left, looking at that, at the time I left, there was no farmland owned by China in the state of Tennessee.
Well, and I think it's obviously a good thing. Would you like to take that nationwide?
Absolutely, because, within my wheelhouse, with this farmer background, with this ag commissioner background, food is power. Food security is national security. I'd like to carry some comprehensive bill, National Food Security Act or something like that, would include trying to decrease the loss of family farms, try to protect American agriculture and Tennessee agriculture from our adversaries. And also, we have the best agriculture in the world, the best technology, the most productive and everything else. And we have to preserve that because our adversaries could take over the United States without firing a shot through food. And you saw a glimpse of it during COVID. If the grocery store shelves were bare for 72 hours, what do you think would happen?
I call it the thin veneer of civilized society. That we go to bed at night hoping and praying to God that we live on the bedrock of civilized society. And if you want to know how civilized society is, clean out the grocery stores for a week or turn the electricity off for a week.
My.
You know what I'm saying?
And how many people out of 100 could grow their own food, hunt their own food, or fish?
Couldn't do it.
How many?
Couldn't do it.
Would it be 2? Maybe it's higher than that.
In Tennessee, 5%.
5%?
5%.
And that'd be a higher percentage because we're Tennessee. But if you took
you're going to run out of ammo real quick.
Okay, New York City then.
Oh, yeah, it's much less. I mean, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
New York City, certainly. All right, we're talking with Charlie Hatcher. We got him on for a couple of more minutes. If you have any questions, I want to clean this up real quick before we go to break, just to kind of put the farmland issue to bed. 1972 writes in, and I don't think either of us are saying this, but I want to make sure nobody thinks that. He says, I'm a farmer with well over 100 acres, and if I want to sell out, I should be allowed to make the biggest profit available, even if that's to a developer. That's no one else's business. I don't think anybody was suggesting the governor should prevent you.
No, absolutely not. He's exactly right. Property rights are number one. Some farmers, like myself, land rich, filthy rich land, cash poor. Some farmers are like that, and they work their whole life. They want to be able to cash out, and they should be able to cash out. I'm not talking about restrictions. The last thing we want is the state or federal government leaning in on property rights. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about communities need to decide through their elected leaders what they want in their community. How much green space they want? Do they want to have a certain amount of farmland? They should be the one that's
through zoning and these types of things.
And that's their community's business.
Right.
Not mine. I'm just saying that it's people. Some people are noticing it, that we're doing a good job of growing houses and not such a good job of growing food.
23 after the hour. Charlie Hatcher with us. If you have any questions, let us know. 615-737-9986. It's the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk. I have my good friend Keith over at Contours LLC to thank for my relationship with Timberland Cabinets because Keith knows quality when he sees it. And Keith was using some Timberland cabinets, and he gave me a call. He said, "Hey, Murphy, if you're coming in from Mount Pleasant, would you mind stopping by their Columbia location and picking up a couple of cabinets, putting them in the back of your truck and bringing them over?" And I was like, absolutely, 100%, I'm happy to do that. I walked through the door, and I met Deb. I met all the Steves. There are 3 Steves. There's Tall Steve, Short Steve, and Normal Steve. And Short Steve loves it when I talk about the 3 Steves. Trust me, one way or the other. So you'll meet the 3 Steves. You'll meet Debbie. She'll answer the phone when you call Timberland Cabinets. And I looked through the showroom, the beautiful showroom that's right there in Columbia. And I'm like, "Are y'all making all of these right here?" And they said, "Yes. We manufacture all of our cabinets right here on site. We're painting them. We're doing all of that. We take the orders here. We do all of that here. And you can walk through the incredible factory just as I did. So these are Columbia, Tennessee workers making great salaries, putting that money back into our economy. So not only can we buy American, we can buy Tennessee-made products and cabinets like you've never seen. Folks, these are not your cookie cutter box store cabinets. These are solid hardwood cabinet products that will stand the test of time, and they're beautiful. Go by and see them in Columbia. online at timberlandcabinets.com, or give Debbie a call at 931-499-7170. 931-499-7170. Ask her about Short Steve. She'll be happy to talk about him at Timberland Cabinets.
Still assessing the damage from last night's storms in Middle Tennessee, and President Trump is in Georgia. He's stumping for the midterms. We'll let you hear what he has to say coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Matt Murphy and you, and Charlie Hatcher's in studio with us. He's running for the 5th Congressional District seat, and he's asking for your vote. We haven't talked about this in the minute or two, and I got a number of folks on the line that want to talk with Charlie. Maybe we'll grab you some headphones. We'll do that. But how did I don't think we've talked about the line changes since you've been on last. They changed the district up. As Commissioner of Agriculture, you've probably been to every county in the state. So
I have.
How did that change your calculus and your dynamic about how you campaigned?
At first, I thought, what in the world am I going to do? And then I got to looking at it, and some of the experts looked at it, some of the political people that know, and they said, Charlie, I think they drew this district up for you. Because it contained 8 or 10 of the highest ag revenue counties in the state of Tennessee. And it cleared the slate. It was like there wasn't an incumbent anymore, because 84% of the new district was brand new. Only 16% of the old district were the voters for the new district. And so that's what that did. And then we had West Tennessee. Some of them didn't know the incumbent or myself. if they were in a rural county, guess who they might know or would know if they're in the ag community? Charlie Hatcher. And so I think that gave me an advantage. And now this district, in my mind, is the most important district in the state of Tennessee and maybe the Southeast because of the breadbasket of Tennessee, that West Tennessee ag base, the Mississippi River. You have the base of Fort Campbell now. You have the richest county in the state, Williamson, and the poorest county, Lake, and everywhere in between. It's a pretty diverse district. So I think it helped me.
When we return, I'll ask Charlie Hatcher what the people of the district are saying to him is their number one priority issue, and we'll do that right after the news. The news happens now on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Still assessing damage from last night's storms in Middle Tennessee. Channel 4's Diana Rocco reporting from East Madison, where flooding caused a sinkhole on Pierce Road between Shannon and Palmer Avenues.
Just a short distance away on Gallatin Pike, water flooded a Firestone in the Spanish restaurant next door. This is what it looked like around 8:30 last night. Looked more like a raging river covering Gallatin Pike. Witnesses say it rushed in without warning, trapping some inside the restaurant.
Yeah, police in Mount Juliet made several rescues, as did Nashville firefighters. Hours after attending the dignified transfer of 4 service members who were killed in action last weekend, President Trump went to Georgia to tout his Trump accounts for children, stumping for the midterms.
And for decades, Washington politicians gave our children absolutely nothing but debt. But the Trump accounts, we're finally seeing and ensuring that every young American gets a great start in life and a really fair shot at the American dream, which is what we all want. They all aspire to that.
The investment accounts offer $1,000 in government funding to every child born during his second term if the family opts into an account. That money gets invested and contributions can be made yearly up to $5,000. ABC's Patrick Reevell says President Trump made a deal with Saudi Arabia to help bolster its nuclear capabilities.
The deal is likely worth billions of dollars for American companies, and it also shuts out Russia and China. But it's also highly controversial because there are fears that it could ultimately pave the way to Saudi Arabia getting a nuclear weapon and then potentially an arms race in the Middle East. Most controversially, the deal potentially opens the door to allowing Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium on its territory.
That's the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Glencliff, we've got a crash 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway. Looks like we're still dealing with a crash with injury. Elm Hill Pike at Murfreesboro Pike. Crash at Fessler's Lane and I-40. Gallatin Pike and East Trinity Lane. Harding Pike at Woodmont Boulevard. White Bridge Pike in Belmead. And Creve Hall, Harding Place at Trialsdale Drive. Sylvan Park, an accident. Right lane block, 40 eastbound before White Bridge Pike, Briley Parkway West. Brentwood, a stalled vehicle on the left shoulder, 65 northbound before Old Hickory Boulevard. Donaldson, a crash. Lebanon Pike at Fairway Drive. Lebanon Pike at Briley Parkway. Lebanon Pike at Central Pike in Hermitage. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, a few more minutes with Charlie Hatcher, who is running for Congressional District number 5. We were just speaking with Charlie about the newly drawn district and getting out. You said, did I 84% of the people that are now in District 5 were not in District 5 before the redrawing.
Correct.
Did I hear that correctly?
Correct.
Well, that's kind of a new ball game. And so off you go to these little, villages and hamlets all across the great state, and Camden and Paris and all over it. What are they telling you is their main concern? What are the people talking about when you go to these towns?
The number one issue, bar anything, is everyday living expenses. I hear it everywhere I go. So the cost of gas and fuel and groceries and childcare and mortgages and
chocolate milk
and yeah. So the cost of production on the chocolate milk since COVID,
right?
Our chocolate, our sugar, our bottles and caps have gone up 50 to 300%. And so it's the same kind of feel that the consumer feels, because when that goes up, that's the number one issue I hear every day. And some people in the district are working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and it's not working too well.
What can you do as an incoming freshman congressman to help with that situation?
Well, there's a lot there too. You got to get inflation under control. You got to get fuel prices under control, and that's tied to the war.
Yeah.
I believe when they said death to America, they mean it, and I'm for that and eliminating that nuclear threat. But President Trump is working on this, and he knows it. I guess it's more obvious to him than anybody. So to accomplish the goals that he wants to accomplish and then close the war out, and I think you'll see things start to inflation will come down, fuel prices will come down, et cetera, and that's where you got to start.
You mentioned the war. Is there at some point a role that Congress needs to take? I mean, I read the Constitution. I understand the War Powers Act. I understand the overall objectives, and I agree with them. I started out as saying I'm hopeful, but I'm skeptical because these folks over there just don't think like us. And so what Donald Trump's biggest strength might be is his ability to negotiate. Well, if you're sitting next to somebody or across from somebody that isn't honest, that has no intention of honoring their word, well, however great of a negotiator you are, that's going to be a struggle. What is Congress's role in this, and how do you see it coming to a fruitful conclusion?
Boy, there's a lot in that question, too.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah. So President Trump is undertaking something no other president has done in the last 50 years.
Right.
And if he's able to accomplish that, that's going to be historic, because we've had trouble with Iran for all these years, and peace in the Middle East has been never achieved, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's on the right track, and I think it's going to come pretty soon. I wouldn't see any point where Congress should lean in unless it goes on longer than months more. Is kind of the way I feel about it.
Well, and I think the president recognizes that too.
I think there's tremendous pressure to close this out,
to finish the deal. And one of the reasons, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, I teased it at the beginning of the show, the president puts out a Truth Social post last night or early this morning and basically said, look, if you're going to continue bombing, I mean, he knows that the Strait of Hormuz needs to be back open and freely flowing. And if you're going to continue as a nation bombing ships in the Strait of Hormuz, for everyone that you bomb, we're just going to take out a bridge. We're going to take out a power supply plant. We don't want to do that, but if that's what it takes to stop all of this, then that's what we're going to do. What do you consider the greatest threat to the United States of America?
I've mentioned this already, but I think one of the most vulnerable is our food.
Yeah.
And I've talked about that a lot of places that I've gone. So food security is national security. And that's, from my perspective, that's one of the things I'm going to focus on. So I think that's one of the biggest threats because we're so vulnerable to it.
Do we need to, I don't mean to interrupt your answer here, but I'm inspired by it. Do we need to grow more lettuce around here as opposed to bringing it in from elsewhere, considering I mean,
100%.
It's the story of the summer, this explosive diarrhea that's going on because of the lettuce.
Yeah, I think the more local food that's grown, the less food miles and potentially fresher and all that, and the more money you're going to put into the pocket of the local farmer. So yes.
Let me tell you, one of the best parts about moving to Murray County and living in Mount Pleasant is we're right adjacent to the Amish community down there, and I know that everything that they're selling that they just pulled out of the ground, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, because you know the farmer and you know
I know where it's coming from.
Yeah, that's right.
Frederica has a question for Charlie Hatcher. Frederica, you're on. Good afternoon.
Well, hi. I am just so excited that I can vote for Charlie Hatcher, a real Tennessean who understands Tennessee. So I am so excited that my family and I can vote for him. I'm a naturalized citizen for 40 years, got my citizenship in Nashville, and I'm so proud of the Hatcher family.
Well, Frederica, do you have a question, or did you just wanted to make that comment?
Well, I guess I'll make that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he will do right by the Tennesseans.
Well, there you go. Well, it's
Okay.
good to hear from you, Frederica. Thanks for listening.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
There's Frederica, a big supporter of yours.
Yeah,
you
right.
got one vote.
That's exact. Oh, I hope she's in the district.
I think she said she was.
She said Davidson County, so.
Oh, did she? I didn't hear that part. Well, Frederica, I hope you're in the district too. Let's take one more from AJ who wants to talk farmland. AJ, you have a question for our guest, Charlie Hatcher?
Yes, sir. I want to know about how you feel about the solar farms taking over the farmland. You see so much of it across our country. I am a truck driver, and I see it in West Tennessee. Acres and acres and acres of the solar panels. How do you feel about that?
AJ, good question. Keep listening.
Yeah, but I don't like them. I don't think they should be called solar farms. They're more like manufacturing facilities. I think the best use, I'm not opposed to solar. I'd rather see those in urban areas, maybe over parking lots, and you could park cars over. I think there's a better place to put them than on very productive farmland.
Right, because you're using the production level of the land when it doesn't have to be an either or. If there's a benefit to solar, then you can put the solar somewhere else.
There may be some changes in the works. I mean, they say that you can graze small ruminants under some of those solar panels, but you got to set them up higher and get them higher up off the ground. But if it takes the land out of ag production, it was an ag production, I'm not a fan.
So the subject of data centers has popped up and almost like a summer thunderstorm, right? You see a little blip on the radar screen and somebody says something about data centers, and almost overnight there has been a wild conversation going on. And I suppose it's because of the advancement of AI. I suppose it's because these data centers have grown from relatively small sizes to these what they call hyperscale data centers. What, in your opinion, is the role? I mean, the two biggest concerns that I hear, just real pocketbook concerns, are electrical use and water use. And maybe there's a third one with noise mitigation.
Yeah.
What is the role of government in this?
You're asking all the hard questions.
That's what I do, Charlie.
I can tell you this. We cannot afford to lose the technology AI war with China. If we do that, they're going to own us.
Because I promise you, they're moving forward.
Yeah, they're at it, and they may be ahead of us in robots at this point. The data centers are not a black and white issue. It's one of those issues in life that's not. So you're exactly right. The energy use and the water use, at least in many parts of Tennessee, it's a no-go because we don't running out of water in Columbia, have a wastewater concern, a moratorium in Spring Hill, and we don't have the energy for it. So data centers are like landfills. Nobody wants them next to them, but we've got to have them. So if the energy was there and if the water was there and the community was okay with it and the taxpayers didn't have to pay for it, You know what I mean by that? I don't think taxpayer money should go to that.
Well, yeah, I don't think an increase. I mean, if you've got a constant supply and the demand goes up because of the data center, and then the energy company goes, well, we got to go up on the rates for everybody. Well, hold on a second,
So the question would be data centers. It depends whether they should go there. Now, the role of government, I'm for less government, not more. And government's the problem, not the solution, at least the federal government. And the best government is that closest to the people. All that said, I don't think that's a role for federal government.
So you mentioned Columbia and the water.
Yeah.
And I know that you're intimately familiar with all of the discussions. We've talked quite a bit about Columbia Power and Water, their decision to go up on rates. I think the state put the brakes on the loan amount that they were looking for to create a water treatment facility, another intake on the Duck River, which is what Columbia Power and Water wants. I'm told from the people that I talk to that Columbia Power and Water, they feel like if regionalization is coming, that they want to be the big dog in that conversation. A lot of growth, not a lot of water. There's others that talk about the dam. I feel like the dam's a little more of a dream than a reality, just based on people that I've talked to about what hurdles you have to overcome at every stage and level of the conversation. Where are you on this?
On which part of that?
Oh, well, on the
dam.
Dam? Let me ask a specific question. Do you believe that it's time for there to be some form of regional water authority in Middle Tennessee as opposed to these various other entities?
The approach has to be regional, because if you pull water from someplace, it's going to affect water somewhere else. You follow me? It's just going to happen that way. So I think the strategic growth planning should be regional for energy, should be regional for water, and for wastewater. I mean, you got to have that stuff locally, but you got to take the planning into consideration, or you're going to get in big trouble.
What else do you want to? I do have the hardest question. No, not the hardest question. It's actually the easiest question I'm going to ask you. Has come 3 different times from our listening audience on the Super Text line. I'm going to ask you that in a moment. But what do you want to leave with the voters? What do you want them to know about Charlie Hatcher and how he will represent them in the 5th Congressional District?
I want them to know there's a conservative alternative with half a bit of common sense, work ethic, the record, and the ability to get the job done. And I want to serve the district and represent them. That's what a House of Representatives congressman does, is represent them. And I've traveled the district, and I've been meeting people where they are, and I know their concerns, and I know the issues. And I would love to earn their support and have their vote.
Okay, before I get to the question that I was referencing, I just had another one come in, and I appreciate this. 6464, this is a problematic question. I'm a good old boy from Georgia, and I put myself through college working at Waffle House, but we're not going to get a straight answer. I'll ask it. I strongly feel you should ask this question during each interview you conduct with political figures in the state of Tennessee. Cracker Barrel or Waffle House? That is the question before Charlie Hatcher.
Breakfast or lunch or dinner?
Well, I mean, gosh, Charlie, Charlie's going to do good in Washington. No, I would say for breakfast.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, see, I think that's a layup for Tennessee, y'all. I mean, Cracker Barrel's from Lebanon.
Although I
love some Waffle House though.
I have a Waffle House hat, and I ate there 2 days ago. So
yeah, that's
there's
good.
That.
Now, the most important question I'll ask before we say goodbye, because a bunch of people want to know where can we get the milk?
Well,
people want chocolate milk.
Go to the website.
By the way, don't come here to get any chocolate milk. There's no chocolate milk at the radio station. I can tell you that.
Because it's been taken
Because
up.
it's been consumed.
Go to HatcherFamilyDairy.com, and we're at Whole Foods, several Whole Foods, 4 or 5 Publixes, and a couple Sprouts, and a bunch of mom and pop stores.
Every time I talk about you, every time I talk with you, everyone says what a wonderful job you've done as a business owner. And I do feel like you would do a wonderful job as a congressman. Charlie, thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me, even though I wasn't scheduled.
Where's the what's the website? One more time.
HatcherFamilyDairy.com.
HatcherFamilyDairy.com. Now, what is that? A campaign site?
No, you asked where the milk was.
What's the campaign site? You got one of those?
CharlieHatcher.com.
CharlieHatcher.com. All right. Well, either way, if you type in Charlie Hatcher, you'll find a milk.
Yeah.
And you'll find good ideas. Thank you, Charlie.
All right.
There's Charlie Hatcher back in a moment on Super Talk. Hey, folks, it's Matt Murphy for Better Water LLC. You know, one of the calls that I made after getting into the house, I've told this story in the past, was to Better Water because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was drinking down there in Mount Pleasant. That's no offense to you Mount Pleasant folks, but I mean, I love you. Y'all know how much I love you, but I don't know what the water's doing down there. Well, we got a great big old thumbs up from Robert at Better Water. He said, Murphy, you're doing pretty good down here. I wouldn't recommend anything for your washing machine. I wouldn't recommend anything for your bathing because you look good, you know, from a sulfur, iron, chlorine level, everything looks good. He said, now, you know, I would put a scalable reverse osmosis system underneath the sink downstairs because it looks like you enjoy a little brown water from time to time. If you want some branch in that, you want it nice and clean and pure. We did it, and I love it. And you will too, whether it's clothing, whether it's washing, whether it's cooking, whether it is drinking. You need clean water. Better Water guarantees it, and they have since 1971. 615-355-6063, 355-6063 for Better Water LLC. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Accurate Mortgage. AccurateMTG.com is the website. I normally give that toward the end of the conversation, and I've been accused of not giving it early enough, so I'll give it to you again coming up in just a couple of minutes. If you're in the market for a home refinance, if you're thinking about getting some money out of the equity in your home and paying off more high-interest debt because you're spending way too much money on that high-interest debt, if you're thinking about a renovation on your current home, maybe an add-on, an addition, maybe you've added to the family and now you need to add to your home, or if you're thinking of buying a new home. I understand that it can be crazy. I mean, interest rates are up and down, and where are they? And, you know, the old saying is that you marry the home, you just date the rate. And it's true, and they will help you understand the pluses and minuses of buying right now at Accurate Mortgage. They're as honest as can be with you, and this is what I love. They explain things in a way that makes sense. Mike and his team just want to do the best by you. And unlike some of these big online guys where you're just a number on a sheet of paper, you're a neighbor. You're a family member almost. And so they treat you like that. AccurateMTG.com, AccurateMTG.com. Call them today. Give them a look on the website, and you'll be happy you did. Tell them that I sent you. Accurate Mortgage at MLS 1299944. Rates and terms subject to change. Equal housing lender.
Five o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Still assessing damage from last night's storms in Middle Tennessee. Had a lot of wind damage, a lot of flooding too, lots of rescues. Channel 4's Diana Rocco in Madison, where flooding caused a sinkhole on Pierce Road and nearly filled up a nearby Firestone and Mexican restaurant.
Today, you see where those water lines were. The Firestone parking lot has a lot of debris left behind. None of the cars there were damaged, but they say they did spend the morning cleaning up. And an employee at El Cubalite says this all happened around closing time, and it did cause some panic.
First, they called me and they were like, oh, it's raining real bad. The water is coming up and coming up and coming up. It usually happens when it's always raining. Like, it was like all the way up. Like, it was pretty bad. I was like, oh my God, it was like my job.
Fortunately, the restaurant did not suffer much damage and no one was injured. But witnesses tell me there was actually a car stuck in that sinkhole last night here on Pierce Road and needed to be towed out of here. Pierce Road is going to be closed for the foreseeable future.
Police in Mount Juliet made several rescues, as did Nashville firefighters. Firefighters in Nashville making at least 7 water rescues. Election 2026, Republican 5th Congressional District candidate Charlie Hatcher telling WTN's Matt Murphy the number one thing he's hearing from people on the campaign trail.
The number one issue, bar anything, is everyday living expenses. I hear it everywhere I go. So the cost of gas and fuel and groceries and child care and mortgages.
He says bringing down inflation and ending the war in Iran will help.
I believe when they said death to America, they mean it. And I'm for that and eliminating that nuclear threat. But President Trump is working on this, and he knows it. I guess it's more obvious to him than anybody. So to accomplish the goals that he wants to accomplish and then close the war out, and I think you'll see things start to inflation will come down, fuel prices will come down, et cetera, and that's where you got to start.
One thing to watch is Hatcher says the newly redrawn part of the district makes up 84% of the new 5th. And WTN's Joan Jones has a follow-up to a story about a former Middle Tennessee high school teacher who claims he accidentally showed nude photos of himself to a student.
The tense and packed school board meeting in Clarksville last night, where parents were demanding the resignation of Director of Schools Jean Luna Vetter. She's the wife of a teacher charged with a lewd act.
We know that Mr. Vetter is still currently married to Miss Vetter. They share the same roof and they share the same computer technology that has all of our children's information and pertinent address and safety concerns. It is a safety concern for the community to allow Miss Vetter to retain her position as the director at CMCSS School Department.
Her husband, Matthew Vetter, charged for showing a student nude pictures of himself on his phone. That student's father is now running for the school board.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Glencliff still got a crash 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway South over by the airport. Briley Parkway southbound before I-40. We've got a crash in Donaldson, Lebanon Pike at Briley Parkway. Hermitage, Lebanon Pike at Central Pike. And then in Madison, Old Hickory Boulevard just west of Graycroft Avenue. Donaldson, another crash. Stewart's Ferry Pike just north of McCampbell Avenue. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. It is 6 after 5. What is going on? How are you? Hope everyone's doing well this Wednesday afternoon in the year of our Lord, 2026. It is episode 1080 of our visits together, and many of you perhaps are just getting off work in your automobiles, trying to get home as best you can. All I can tell you is that it will be there when you get there, and I have no idea when you're going to get there. That's better than me saying you can't get there from here, which would probably be very frustrating for many of you who are currently stuck on the roadways, as there's a lot of red spots. I will say this. I don't know that I'm telling you the truth here, but I'm fairly safe in my assumption, and if Ken Weaver's listening, he is welcome to join in.
What's that, Brother Murphy?
I'm fairly safe in my assumption that we're not going to get the nasty type of weather today that we got yesterday, right?
No, sir.
Okay. But, you know, are we expecting just the standard fare pop-ups? Or
yeah, just it could be some more pop-up showers and thunderstorms, but we're not expected to get anything like we got yesterday. In fact, there's very little chance you're going to see any pop-up showers or thunderstorms for the next 3 or 4 days. Saturday. Friday night, it looks like there's another chance for some thunderstorm activity. But until then, it's looking pretty dry.
Ken Weaver, I have some bad news on my side of the glass that I need to report to you.
Okay.
So there were reports available, and I think, sadly, a future candidate for governor, young Jackson Williams, was promoting some of this erroneous report.
Oh, yeah?
That there's chocolate milk available in the studio area, and that is not true. That these are rumors.
It's all gone.
No, I didn't say gone. I said just rumors.
Never showed up.
To my knowledge, I don't know. I don't know what Jackson's talking about.
In my candidacy, we are going to fight for Tennesseans and the constituency of Tennesseans.
You're going to fight Tennesseans?
Fight for them.
Why? They can fight for themselves.
Does Cameron know about planning on invading Mississippi?
I don't think Cameron knows your political platform. We're going to run Jackson as an independent candidate for governor of the state of Tennessee, particularly if Marcia refuses to debate Jerry Green or whoever the hell the Democrat's going to be. Because somebody challenged me. By the way, let's back up for a second. Jackson,
yes,
is or is not chocolate milk now the official drink of the Jackson Williams gubernatorial campaign?
No, it's still, yeah, probably.
No, yes.
Specifically Hatcher.
Yes.
Chocolate milk.
And remember, my platform is all of Tennessee tax dollars now go to the Tennessee NIL Fund.
We're getting to your platform in a second. I want to introduce him first, and then we'll get to your platform. Cameron Smith is with us, as he is on these Wednesdays. Hey, Cameron.
Hey, Matt.
How are you? Your haircut's looking more and more high and tight every time I see you.
Yeah.
You cut that yourself, Cameron?
No, I did not. The wonderful barber that I had yesterday she was pretty intense. Sometimes, when they get a little intense, some more comes off the top. And I walked out of there and I was aerodynamic. I mean, we were flying.
You look good.
It's my boys were like, they came up and were like rubbing my head, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, you don't have much hair." And I'm
So
like,
probably a little shorter than anticipated.
it was,
But,
she did a very good job, very precise.
Summertime.
And we're high and tight with that taper fade.
I like it. I like everything about it. We'll get into the news of the day and get Cameron's thoughts on some of the activities happening overseas and otherwise. But before we do that, Jackson, you want to go ahead with your political campaign stump?
Yes. So, Cameron, we're planning on being tough on Tanzania, wherever that is.
Yeah.
And then we're going to invade Mississippi, and we're going to take all their casino tax dollars.
They'd fight you over the tax dollars, but if you invade Mississippi, there's a good chance nobody actually knows.
We're going to take those tax dollars. They're going straight to the Tennessee NIL fund.
Okay.
He wants all tax revenue to go to Tennessee's NIL.
Yeah.
They just got another 5-star.
Tell them about Vandy.
Oh, abolish the Vanderbilt athletic program. They can keep the hospitals and the lawyers and stuff. That's fine.
A hospital.
That's so nice of you.
Lawyers.
That's so good of you. Yeah, y'all are fine. But that women's volleyball team's got to go.
But you're not going to be playing any football.
No.
Anything else, Jackson, that you've added to the campaign stump speech in the 20 hours since we talked about it last?
We'll work on it.
Okay. Well, Jackson running as a candidate for governor.
Alabama better watch out, too.
Watch yourself, Alabama.
Okay.
They got Arsenal right on the line. They got that going for them. What's up with you, Cameron?
Well, I will say today was exciting. This was a first, and a first for me is rare. Like, I'm old enough now. I've had all those. 3:24 p.m., I got a text from my wife. There was a turd in our washing machine today. Just had to tell someone. Oh.
What?
My response was this. Oh. Like Daisy or a person. Daisy is our Yorkie Poo puppy who's
Critter.
getting potty trained.
Okay, sure.
She said, Daisy, I think. And that actually happened to me today. And I had to figure out how to respond to that.
How did do you have a top-loading washer or a side?
Yeah, we have a top-loading washer.
How did the dog get up there?
Because my guess
I think the dog
is not that the 7-pound Yorkie Poo can fly. That's
I
not.
think it can fly.
I don't think Daisy was hanging on to the agitator.
I've got it. Cameron's got one of them flock cameras as a dog.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it, but my guess was that sometimes she has an accident and on a blanket or something, and
that just got picked up.
And one of the boys picked it up and dropped the blanket in there. Is my assumption. Also, someone could have just pooped in the washer. That could be a thing.
You do have teenage boys, a lot of them.
I do.
And so that's a safe assumption. I wonder if your first thought was to respond, it wasn't me.
Yeah, that's fair. It was not. I was not there at the time.
I just want you to know right now that it was not me.
No, seriously. With the same washing machine, I've had to have a warranty call with Costco because one of the boys locked his brother in there and then they pushed up on the glass and it got knocked a little loose. And can you imagine how you got to explain that? Like, I'm pretty sure it was physical damage. Well, it looks like it just popped loose here. And I'm like, well, it did in a manner of speaking.
Can you, you can survive a small amount of time like in a dryer, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume it starts getting hot after a second.
Well, when they start filling it with water, you know that it's getting dicey in the washer. But we have a really big washing machine. It begs the question why any of the boys who are teenagers would be in the washing machine. But if you're playing hide and go seek,
you got like a 14-year-old over there, man.
The underdeveloped prefrontal cortex in my house is a real thing. It's a thing. So we have a lot of fun, but everything's broken.
I found a turd in the washing machine. I just wanted to tell.
So you got to tell somebody because most of the things that happen in our house, people would just not believe, right?
Right.
Like they would just be like somebody, like one of the kids brings a mouse into the house and loses it in the house. Like
a live one?
Yeah, most people try to take the mice and put them out of the house, We brought it in, and then the dogs chased the mouse. The mouse was successfully recaptured and put out. But that's not a normal thing for most families. And so sometimes you need a witness. You need to tell somebody. And this was one of those moments from my wife where she was like, this is just so weird. I don't know why.
Would you mind adding, and I promise to our loyal listening audience, some of whom just seem to get very, very angry when I bring up any personal experience I've had in my life. I won't belabor on this, but would you just add the next column you do, because you do these from time to time, about dumb, stupid, overreaching government regulations. Would you please add tint, T-I-N-T, to the column just for me? Would you do that?
For you, I can do that.
Thank you.
We need to work out our agenda because the listeners here have shown a propensity to change the law in Tennessee.
Yeah, they have.
So we need to figure out 4 or 5 bills for the January session to go fix things and make Tennessee great again.
9080 says it's a Yorkie poo.
It is indeed. Not a flying Yorkie poo, as Jackson contemplated.
And the same person that wrote it's a Yorkie poo, for some reason this morning sent Dan Mandis. Hey, Jackson, do you have the super text line up in there? Look at 9080, who just wrote us, it's a Yorkie poo. They put together an image of Dan Mandis.
I'll have to look now. I'll have to go see.
As Dan Mantis.
That's pretty good.
Here.
I like that.
Put that up on the screen, Jack.
That's pretty solid.
Can you do that?
Dan Mantis. I mean, it looks natural, actually. It's
hi. How's it going?
How you doing? I'm gonna eat you.
Everybody, you know what? Everybody's got a Dan Mandis, and none of us sound like Dan Mandis.
No,
we're just in the neighborhood.
It's a caricature of Dan Mandis,
right?
Not actually Dan.
It's like listening to Will Ferrell do Harry Carey on Saturday Night Live. Right. It doesn't sound necessarily like him, but we wish it did.
Hey guys.
Hey you guys. What if a moon was made of cheese? Would you eat it? I'd eat it if it's made of hot dog.
So great.
Polish it down with an ice cold Budweiser. So there's Dan Mantis.
Yes.
Mantis, not Mandis.
I'm going to save this image and I'm going to tweet it out to you guys.
Everybody wants
to see it.
Everybody wants to see it.
So I'm going to put it out there.
So we were talking about this. We did an episode of All the Best Words earlier today, and it'll drop over the weekend. I guess Sunday is the day that it drops. We were discussing, the latest in the conflict with Iran, where we go from here. I want a successful outcome. All good Americans should want a successful outcome, an outcome that's going to benefit the United States of America, make us safer here at home and abroad. And I think we're struggling to find it.
Yeah.
We're struggling to find it. Add to that as we struggle to find it, gasoline prices go back up. When gasoline prices go up, just about the price of everything else imaginable goes up. I asked, Charlie Hatcher was here last hour, and I asked him what the people are talking about. He's out and about. Did you know, by the way, speaking of Hatcher, that when they redrew the district lines, that district number 5, 84% of the people voting in district number 5 now weren't in district number 5 before they redrew the lines.
I know.
84%.
I got drawn out of it.
Right.
I'm in 9
now. Right. And he said it was kind of a political reset, that it bothered him at first, but then he realized that it's almost as if there is not an incumbent in the race.
Right.
And that's fair. The best thing Andy Ogles has going for him, and I get accused of being anti-Andy all the time, and probably with good reason. I say things that are probably perception, but I mean, perception becomes reality, but I'm just trying to be honest. The best thing Andy Ogles has going for him is that Donald Trump endorsed him, and he could put that on his campaign sign.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and I'll be blunt. I mean, I was disappointed that I didn't have an opportunity to vote for Charlie Hatcher. Like, seriously. I mean, this is the show pony stuff, the bombastic things. I'm just over it. Like, I just don't like that stuff anymore. And, Andy's just said a lot of things that I understand if you're a cynical Politico just trying to get some traction, but it's not what I want from a leader. And so I'm not saying he's a bad guy or anything like that. I'm just simply saying that somebody like Charlie Hatcher, who is the anti-politician, who you pointed this out, is nothing like
180 degrees.
The stuff we see in the swamp. That's appealing to me. It's interesting. It's different.
and the question occurs to me, and obviously we're talking about the 5th district race, but this could apply to any race. If you're considering for whom to vote, ask yourself this question. Are they going for me or are they going for them?
Bingo.
I think it's an important question.
Or just ask it, make it simpler. Is this the best job they've ever had?
Yeah.
And if it is,
yeah.
You know?
You might
want to think about that.
With that in mind, is U.S. Senator a better job than governor?
I mean, probably.
I think I'm on record as saying that being a United States Senator is the best job on planet Earth.
A 6-year term, you're expected to slow things down, not do all the things.
You have to be, in my opinion, an absolute moron to lose once you're an incumbent.
Right.
As long as I will put a caveat on that. As long as your state doesn't flip, as long as your state doesn't start out red and then become blue, or start out blue and become red, if your state flips in front of you, then you probably are at risk. But if you can't serve the people of your state in a 6-year term and raise all of that money that you're raising and do all of those other unsavory things and win re-election, I'm not saying it should be that way. I'm just saying it is that way. I think it's the best job on planet Earth.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, it's the reason that the governor's not is because governor's the executive. Like, you have to actually do that stuff. No one really knows what senators do.
I will say this. They have to have their ass kissed a lot because there's a lot of that going on. You worked for some of them. I have seen it with my own eyeballs. You walk down those Senate office buildings, boy, and there's a lot of booty smooching going on.
Well, the gating function, like just trying to talk to your own senator,
is impossible.
It is just
if you don't have an
wild.
appointment,
right?
You're not doing it.
And that to me is. There are a handful of senators and congressmen folks that we know that like we can call pretty and get a hold of. But that's probably because we write columns and talk on the air and stuff like that. But the staff around most senators is like, this is the most VIP of the VIPs, and you should be so privileged as to get 5 seconds of their time.
When I went and visited, the first time I visited a sitting senator was visiting Richard Shelby, who was the senior senator from the state of Alabama at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an appointment, and I went to his office, and I think it's in the Hart Senate office building, and just absolute palatial building.
Yep.
It's a building, if you see senators interviewed on Fox News or CNN, they're oftentimes in the atrium, in the center area of that building. But anyway, you go down one of the hallways, and you get to where you're told to go, and you go into a room, and this is a huge, beautiful, palatial room, and you think, oh, well, this is his office, and it's not his office. This is where the low-level staffers are. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, hello, and you meet some people, and they're like, oh, we're going to take you to meet the senator. And then they take you to another office, and you think, oh, well, this is his office. That's not his office either. It's also beautiful, and it's also gorgeous, and it's also full of people. And then you stand there for a while, and you talk to some people, and they say, oh, we've got to take you across the hall. And then they take you to another room. And then it's like, it's these series of...
Yes.
Labyrinth. Am I meeting the Pope?
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah. And when I worked up there, it was the same. I mean, it is a weird. I mean, the doors are very tall. Everything's big. It's all just flashy. Now, I worked in the like bowels of Dirksen, which is one of the Senate office buildings, and was jammed in a corner, and so I did not have the palatial stuff. But anywhere that the senators deign to frequent. Very nice. And
did you ever go to the Senate bathtubs?
I did.
I did too.
I actually, when I worked for Senator Sessions, I would work late at night, and I didn't have any kids at that point, and I would just I had an ID badge that would let me get most places, and I would just go explore. When everybody's gone, and it's just me and a couple security guards, I start opening doors, poking around. I mean, it is a beautiful, cool, historic place. It was a fun place to work. Also, in an unrelated matter, the picture of Dan Mantis is live. So hashtag Dan Mantis, and you can find me. You can follow me on the X machine, yell at me, whatever. But that picture's pretty awesome.
That's excellent. I want to talk with you about Johnny Garrett and Van Hillary and John Henry, who is also in that race, coming up in just a moment, and the AI component to the race that has come up. We will also talk about the governor's race. We'll also talk a little more about Iran. We'll get your calls in here, too. Greg and Mike is out. I see y'all out there. 25 after the hour at Super Talk. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy. You know, the bottom line is this. You got to have your AC nowadays, boy. And we told you these days were coming where the AC is working hard every day, all day to make sure. We had an issue in our house, and I got to ask Jeff Eddy from Efficient Heating and Cooling about this. I'm going to call him and ask him. So one of our registers on our wall, it was like leaking. And it's got condensation around it. And I guess that's just a matter of the cool air on the hot wall because the wall gets a lot of sunshine, creating that condensation. Maybe it's something different. Bottom line is this. Whatever your AC issue might be, Jeff Eddy and his team can help. Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling have been doing it a long time. They don't believe in overtime rates on nights or weekends because they don't believe in charging you more. Your AC doesn't know what time it is. They also will get to you as quickly as humanly possible. Obviously, they're busy this time of year, but they understand if your AC goes out, that is a dangerous thing considering the hot conditions that we're going through in Tennessee right now. They're never going to charge you over $125 for a maintenance call, no matter where you are in the service area. And Efficient offers financing available to you if it's time to replace that unit. And if it's time, they'll tell you, and you know they're telling you the truth. They're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem. EfficientHVAC.net. EfficientHVAC.net or call 615-784-4424, 784-4424. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy, and let's talk for a moment about your safety. Let's talk about Nashville Safe House. Let's talk about the end of summer closeout. I got some great deals at Nashville Safe House. Now, Mark and his team, Jill and the gang, they always bring some good deals to the table. They've always got rebates going on. They got great prices on a normal day. But at the end of summer, they're closing out on all Liberty safes, the biggest selection and lowest prices of the year. They also include a $400 rebate on all Browning safes in this sale. They have the best selection of Fort Knox safes in the Southeast. And I would go ahead and tell you, if they have a best selection in the Southeast, that's going to be a best selection of safes, gun safes in particular, in the United States of America. And if they have the best selection in the United States, then I extrapolate that they have the best selection in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that Nashville Safe House has the best Fort Knox selection in the universe. And I stand by that comment. Nashville Safe House, the place to buy a safe. Nobody else is even close. As a matter of fact, you add up all of their safes at Nashville Safe House, and then you take every competitor they have, and you add up every single safe that every single competitor has, and Nashville Safe House has more. That's the standard in Nashville. NashvilleSafeHouse.com, NashvilleSafeHouse.com, or across the street from City Cemetery on 4th Avenue South in Nashville.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Damage assessment continues after last night's storms. Nashville Department of Communications using technology to reach emergencies faster by allowing them to track locations and then live stream from emergencies with permission. Channel 4 spoke to an official who says it helped 3 people who were stranded on a boat during last night's storms.
With this technology, there is some use of artificial intelligence in it. But at the end of the day, we can't do what we do and what our personnel do each and every day without the human in that seat. That's it. We have to have a human in that role no matter what.
Officials recommend that you download the What 3 Words app so they can pinpoint your location if there's an emergency. Chick-fil-A says a recent cyber attack may have exposed personal information from a limited number of Chick-fil-A One loyalty accounts. The Tennessean says the company says hackers used login credentials obtained from a third-party source to access accounts between June 17th and June 19th. Potentially exposed information includes names, email addresses, membership numbers, and the last 4 digits of payment cards. Chick-fil-A has reset affected passwords, restored account balances, and is urging customers to update their passwords immediately. And in our nation's capital, House lawmakers say they've passed a series of bills, including one to fund the government through December 4th, a budget resolution funding defense, intelligence, and farm aid, in addition to components of the Republican election overhaul effort called the Save America Act, and passage of the Stop Insider Trading Act, which bans members of Congress from trading individual stocks. And this won't help to quell the public's suspicions about artificial intelligence. ABC's Jim Ryan says the technology recently slipped its leash.
OpenAI says it's enhancing its internal security after one of its advanced artificial intelligence models escaped its testing environment, gained internet access, and then stole login credentials from a startup tech firm. In its own statement, OpenAI says it expects this kind of incident to become more commonplace.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes 65 southbound. There's one just past Trinity Lane. We've got Harding Place east of Overcrest Drive, Bell Road at Rural Hill. In Madison, Old Hickory Boulevard west of Graycroft Avenue. And then in Donaldson, Stewart's Ferry Pike north of McCampbell Avenue. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy with you, and I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor on the Matt Murphy Show. It's Dr. Catherine Beckman and her new clinic, the Beckman Dry Eye Institute. You know, I learned when I went to the Dry Eye Institute, sat down with Dr. Beckman, talked with her about these things, saw the clinic, which is just incredible. I learned that, most people, 1 in 8 people have some form of dry eyes. And for many of you, this is a solvable issue, right? It's known as ocular surface disease. Dr. Beckman doesn't dispense glasses. She doesn't do contacts. She doesn't do your annual eye exam. She only treats patients with dry eye disease. And more and more and more, she has noticed that people come in and they don't realize that there are solutions. Sadly, the lack of knowledge allows people to suffer in silence because they don't think there's anything to do. They just put in eye drops and just off they go. Whatever the cause of your dry eyes, the Beckman Dry Eye Institute gets to the root of it, and they can eliminate it. For some people, dry eyes can be debilitating. For others, it's just a nuisance. Either way, she'll get down to the bottom of it and get it solved. This truly is a specialty clinic. 629-230-3161 is the number, and I encourage you to call her and schedule an appointment. 629-230-3161 or online for more info, BeckmanDryEyeInstitute.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. If you guys knew the abuse that I take, well, then you'd know about the abuse that I take. That's about that.
The Dan Mantis has been seen by Dan Mandis now, and he's excited. You got to retweet that. We need enough people to see that.
All right.
It checks out.
I'm on top of it. I will do my retweeting after Jackson is the youngster of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson he was born in the last century, but it was in the latter portions of the last century. Ken Weaver, I guarantee that Jackson Williams has never seen this play that I'm about to show y'all on Talk TV.
Let's see it.
Jackson Williams.
What is that?
Watch this. This is great. This is great. Watch this. You can smack him around in a second.
There's a hole. 5, 10.
Boom!
He's running over people. Oh, you Herschel Walker.
That's awesome.
My God almighty, he ran right through 2 men.
My God almighty, he ran right through 2 men.
Dead away inside the 9.
Look, he just poor Bill Bates. Look, watch this one more time, Jackson. Watch this. Watch this. Bill Bates sets up, gonna tackle him, and he's on the ground.
He even hit him low too.
Yeah.
Still couldn't stop.
Did exactly what he's supposed to do. That's a pretty famous line from our good friend Larry Munson, who my dog is named after, by the way. My God, a freshman.
Yeah,
those big thighs. He wants something. Jackson tells me that Herschel Walker's not even. So this is the way this conversation went up, Ken.
Okay.
I need you to be a neutral arbiter of this conversation.
I always am.
Oh,
And we'll
Ken's
get into-
going with me on this one.
And we're going to get to nincompoops in a second. So Tennessee just signed a new running back.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, and what's that little fella's name?
David Gabriel Georges. He
And
is
he-
not a little fella.
And
He's
he's
Canadian.
What's his name?
David Gabriel Georges.
His last name is Georges?
Yes. Georges.
Georges?
I mean, he looks like a solid running back.
Yeah, he's a big fella.
Not Derrick Henry big.
Is there any possible way that he could be hearing me right now?
No, he's
No.
in Chattanooga.
Okay, very good. In that case, I mean, what kind of name is Georges?
Don't you? Hey.
What?
Well, as long as the coach's name is Heupel, they're going to win 9 or 10, and that'll be it.
Well, so I heard I didn't know about this guy, and I heard I was watching some SEC media days.
Yeah.
And Tennessee. Did Clay go to Tennessee? Did Travis go to Tennessee or
no,
Vandy? He went to Vandy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's a Tennessee fan.
Yes.
He's like the comparables to this guy are with Herschel Walker. And I thought, well, my goodness, before he ever plays a snap of college football, you're going to compare him to the greatest running back in college football history, to which Jackson immediately started clapping back at me, Ken. And now I understand how different Barry Sanders was.
Barry Sanders is the best running back in college football history.
Okay, well, that's fine. You can have your
He may
opinion.
be the best running back in history.
You're entitled to your wrong opinions. That's fine.
Herschel, solid player.
What do you mean solid player?
Great player, man.
He is widely considered to be one of the top 5 running backs in the history of the college football.
His
Of
big
the
old son of a
college
gun.
football.
The college football. I was going to say the game and then college football, and I couldn't get it out.
Yeah, if you stopped watching in like 1983.
No, I kept watching, Jackson, and he still remains one of the greatest players in the history of the game.
He was pretty dominant for his time.
I mean, other elite running backs since then, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Um,
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson. That's a good one.
Let's see. I was looking at this list. Barry's on the list. He's number 2 to her. Ricky Williams,
Yeah.
Who
Texas.
put Herschel over Barry?
Most every ranking puts Herschel Walker over Barry.
I'm looking at the NCAA's official ranking.
Most every ranking in terms of greatest college football running back. I mean, Archie Griffin's in there. There haven't been a Tony Dorsett's in there.
Football.
I'm trying to football. Thank you. Oh, you know what?
It's getting close.
It is, and I'm kind of excited. That's why I'm wearing my Georgia gear, Ken, because Georgia was at SEC Media Days yesterday.
I'm going to start wearing my Oklahoma gear
Let's
again.
go, Ken.
Let's do it.
Me and you, buddy. September.
Yeah, every
Sanford
Wednesday.
Stadium.
Yes. And every Wednesday when Brother Cameron comes in, we all got to wear our colors.
That's fair. That's reasonable.
Bo Jackson is certainly one of the best running backs in the history of the game.
He knocked people back.
Ricky Williams.
I would take Herschel Walker over Bo Jackson every opportunity that I get.
But not if you had to hit a baseball.
But not if you. I mean, I would say that Bo Jackson.
run for Senate.
Bo Jackson is one of the greatest. I'd probably take Bo. I go with Bo. Herschel, come on, buddy. Poor Herschel. All right, 44 after the hour. We'll get to more of your calls coming up, more of your thoughts coming up. We'll get back to the news in just a moment. Right now, it's time for the Nincompoops.
Nincompoops in the news.
Jackson, you lied to me. 7429 says, you're absolutely wrong. I work and live in Chattanooga. I work in Chattanooga. I live in the Sequatchie Valley, and I listen to you guys every day through iHeartRadio. My goodness gracious. That was Jackson Williams that was talking nasty about that little fella from down there at Chattanooga Baylor or whatever it is.
He is not a little fella.
Chattanooga Baylor.
Is that what it's called?
It's the Baylor School.
But it's in Chattanooga. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to get it right, Jackson. Y'all got to figure all of it out.
What's his measurables? How big a boy is he?
How big a boy are you? Jackson doesn't know. He just knows how many stars he's got coming out of his butt.
What was Derrick Henry was 245 pounds.
He was
what a beast.
Tank.
Absolute beast.
He is a tank.
I mean, yeah, he was
dude.
and is an absolute beast. There's no.
But he was 245 pounds, right?
This guy,
yes.
David Gabriel Georges, 6 foot, 210 pounds.
Okay. Normal size fella.
Yeah, that's normal size.
I hope he's got the quick twitch. Quick twitch. Gotta have a quick twitch.
Number 1 prospect in the state of Tennessee.
How about the United States of America?
12.
Number 1 overall, not just running backs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a beef with you dogs.
Oh, what's that, Ken?
You took one of our cornerbacks.
We didn't mean it.
They did.
I don't like that.
Who'd we take?
Gentry Williams.
A younger fella or transfer portal?
He was a third. I think he's got one more year of eligibility.
Oh, y'all didn't want him.
We apparently just didn't have all. I guess we wanted to spend money on something else, but I don't like y'all taking him. He's got insights.
Insights. Okay.
Man, okay. Well, I'll take the insights. That's pretty good. Well, we'll take everything we can get in anticipation of the Saturday afternoon evening game in late September.
Just don't forget about that G-string wearing kicker.
If he can guarantee you 3 game-winning field goals during the course of the season, Ken,
If we can get it within 50 yards, we got a chance.
you can wear whatever you want him to wear. I remember when Herb Street was giving him hell on that broadcast, and then he made a couple of 55-yarders, and Herb Street finally said what everybody else was thinking, was like, man, if he keeps making 55 yards, he can wear whatever he wants.
I think there needs to be a rule against it.
Not me. At least right now.
You're just a oppressive hand of government here, Jackson?
That's right. That's
when it comes to football, yes.
Jackson, according to you, I think that there were some shenanigans in the vote tally yesterday, because I think some of the Jacksons were actually for me, because yesterday you might have missed it. Jackson was actually my nincompoop in the news yesterday.
No, it was some stupid nutcracker.
No, it was you. You're the nincompoop in the news.
Your story was bad. You lost. I won. I'm picking the order.
It was a 66-foot functional nutcracker, Jackson.
Yeah, that's cool. That's not nincompoopery.
Well, you were the nincompoop. I forget how I connected those dots, but I connected them. I remember I felt good about it when I did it.
You called him a 6'1" ball cracker.
No, ball buster.
Yeah, ball buster.
Thank you, kid. You make me smile. Jackson, what's the order?
Me, just like Barry Sanders at first. Then Weaver, Smith, and Murphy up yours.
It doesn't make sense if you say it that way.
Oh, up the rear.
Thank you.
And up yours. I mean both.
Jackson, did you say you first? Go.
Miami Heat. This is the worldwide of sports.
Okay.
Wide world of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Miami Heat mistakenly post an introductory press conference link to LeBron James. Have you guys seen this?
No.
Last night, around 10:30 p.m., the Miami Heat posted a link to a scheduled live stream titled LeBron James Introductory Press Conference, followed by the date July 27th to its YouTube channel, in what a team spokesperson
subsequently
said was a mistake. The spokesperson subsequently told ESPN's Shams Sharania on Tuesday that the club's social media department was preparing for the possibility of James's signing and mistakenly posted their link to the team's YouTube page. The post was later deleted.
What'd you say your name was? Name's Shams. Shams Shenanigans.
Shams Sharania. He's like the Adam Schefter of the NBA.
You just kind of faded off.
It's a hard name.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't really.
It's all good.
But this is like the big thing in sports right now. Everybody's wondering where a 41-year-old is going to play his potentially final season of basketball.
Can we agree that he's the greatest player of all time in the NBA?
I can.
We cannot.
Okay, fair.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Ken, what about you?
Okay.
I'm going Michael Jordan.
But would we not agree that it's between those two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to get off of those two and go somewhere else.
Kareem had a place in the conversation until LeBron passed him for points.
Kareem stood in the paint and just did that damn sky hook.
He was
That's
good
all he
at
did.
it, though.
He's good at it. That's what he did, right? And I don't even know
pilot.
basketball. Did it sound? By the way, hold on a second. Hey, Cameron, did that sound like I knew what I was talking about?
It does.
Okay, I don't. I have no idea about ball.
I just say things like, well, Pistol Pete, you know.
Yeah, what about Pistol Pete, boys?
El Pistol Pete.
He was good.
Yeah.
He could shoot that three. Ken, you're a nincompoop, sir?
This here's out of Montgomery County, Indiana. A Crawfordsville man has been taken into custody after he reportedly called in a courthouse bomb threat because, according to him, 911 dispatchers did not seem to take him seriously. 35-year-old Matthew Stark was charged in Montgomery County for an alleged voicemail that advised that the courthouse was going to explode at some point that day. There's a bomb inside. I'm just reporting it, the voicemail reportedly stated. As a result, the courthouse was evacuated. The document stated that explosive detection canine units from Purdue University checked and cleared the building. The document stated that the number of the voicemail reportedly came from was found to be a Text Now customer, which investigators used to link to Stark. On July 15th, law enforcement met with Stark at his home. During an interview, the document stated that Stark told law enforcement he did not know if the courthouse was really safe. Stark claimed he saw a man handcuffed to a seat, quote, for a long time, where there were several explosives wired up everywhere. The document said that Stark told officers he also heard radio traffic, which said there could be a bomb in the bottom of the courthouse. When asked why Stark called the clerk's office instead of 911, the document stated that Stark told law enforcement 911 did not seem to take him seriously. The court documents indicate that Stark's initial hearing will be in Montgomery County on Monday afternoon.
I hate it when
an nincompoop.
That man is a nincompoop, and I hate it when they don't take you seriously as a nincompoop. Cameron, you're next.
Mine's another Florida man. A man was arrested for driving under the influence after he ran from the scene of a crash in Daytona Beach on July 17th, according to police. Body camera video from the Daytona Beach Police Department shows officers locating James Sutherland, 22, as he appeared to be in an argument with a man outside of the parking garage. They asked him for identification in connection with a nearby crash. "If you want my ID, you're going to get sued," he told police. He had said he had not driven that night, but later mentioned that he did not remember hitting a street sign, according to the video. Quote, "My car has very bad alignment," Sutherland said. Sutherland then told officers he had 2 shots that night, so officers asked him to perform roadside tests and balance on one leg and count. Quote, "I was a little confused on that one," Sutherland said. "What were you confused about?" the officer asked. "I'm not too good at math," Sutherland said.
Mr. Sutherland's an nincompoop.
He is. He was arrested and charged with DUI, leaving the scene of crash and damage to property.
Nice, quick, and in a hurry. KWWL reports out of Waterloo, Iowa. Waterloo, one of the better songs out of the 1950s country music era. I think Stonewall Jackson sang the song Waterloo. Anyway, the Waterloo City Council unanimously approved an ordinance making public defecation illegal. The new rule adds public defecation to the existing ordinance that already bans public urination. The ordinance passed its first reading earlier this month. The council voted on the measure during its meeting last night. Now, you might be thinking, well, Murphy, the city council, are they the nincompoops? People defecating? No. KWWL, they are the nincompoops. News Channel 7, because they provide no context as to why it was necessary in Waterloo, Iowa, the breadbasket of America, why it was necessary to ban public defecation. I want to know the backstory. There's got to be a story.
Well,
and I want to know what it is.
If I was a resident, I would want to know how long I have before it takes effect.
Fair. I also want to know who has utilized that loophole in the past. See, I'm hoping that somebody's utilizing that loophole in the past. It's like, hey, buddy, there's a law against public urination. No, sir, I'm going number 2. It's okay if a little squirt comes out, because I'm doing number 2.
Oh.
And I'm going right here in Cameron Smith's washing machine.
Hey, sometimes you find those.
That's how we do Nincompoops in the News. You got 4 people to vote for, but I would encourage voting for Matt Murphy on general principle, or maybe Ken Weaver or Cameron Smith. Don't vote for the monster that's behind the glass back there. It is Nincompoops in the News. Vote 615-737-9986. You can also vote on the YouTube chat. Those votes count. Didn't we say 5? I thought we'd gone up to 10. Who knows? One way or the other, vote early, vote often. Back after this, we will talk more serious matters, to include Iran, to include the Metro Council and the new regulations on data centers, and to include this hilarious set of videos out of the Johnny Garrett, Van Hillary, John Henry race. I can't get enough of them. I think they're hilarious, and apparently they were the talk of Washington, D.C. earlier this week. I have that on good authority. Back in a moment. The Wellness Institute of Nashville is simply the finest establishment that I've walked into to alleviate pain where it hurts on your body. Dr. Kevin Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team have dedicated their lives, their working lives, to help alleviate your pain. It's what they do. With an epic spinal special of $33 off every single visit. No surgery, no injections, no painkillers, no downtime. This is epic healing for you and your family. Painisbad.com is the website, painisbad.com. Folks, they not only have spinal decompression, they have the hydrowave technology, they have the Medical Bay 1 technology, and it's all ready to go for you. Telephone number 615-246-5009, 246-5009. If you're in pain and you don't know how to alleviate the pain, I know. I've been there, and it can be excruciating. It can just be, I mean, it doesn't end your life, but it feels like your life is over sometimes. Get back to life with the Wellness Institute of Nashville, and tell them I sent you. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for the Kraft Body Scan, and it is incredible what they're doing over there at Kraft Body Scan. Let's talk about it. The idea of knowing what's going on inside of your body versus not knowing versus just wondering is, it's just night and day, friends. It's one of the reasons that I decided to check out the things at Kraft Body Scan a couple of years ago. It's one of the reasons that I had a full body scan. And it's one of the reasons that I'm here to tell you, you need to go and you need to do this. And now the time's never been better, because with a couple's heart and lung scan special going on, you can get your heart and lungs scanned. You can see the process and experience it for yourself with your loved one for $99. What are you waiting on? Are you of a certain age? Have you noticed your energy levels have gone down and whatnot? Why not get checked out? Make sure the lungs are working as they should. Make sure the heart is working as it should. It's non-invasive. It takes about 8 minutes. You don't take off your clothes or anything like that. You leave your clothes on. You go through the CT scan, and it is bingo bammo. Like I say, about 8 minutes is wide open in a big old wide open room, so you don't have to worry about claustrophobia or anything like that. Go to togetherwescan.com, promo code MATT50 for the $99 special. Togetherwescan.com, promo code MATT50, or give them a call at 615-436-1000. 436-1000.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Damage assessments continue after last night's storms. Channel 4's Diana Rocco in Madison, where a sinkhole has shut down Pierce Road between Shannon and Palmer Avenues due to flooding.
Pierce Road is closed in both directions this afternoon, and you can see why. Debris still scatters the road where water came up over it. And when those waters receded, this giant sinkhole was left behind. It's now been blocked off, catching a lot of people off guard. They're having to make U-turns. We've been watching that happen all day long until NDOT can get out here and make some repairs.
Police in Mount Juliet made several water rescues, as did Nashville firefighters. In Kentucky, Sharon and Chris Palmer say they held hands while sitting in their recliners as a tornado came through their Grayson County home.
And we just kept saying, hang on, and don't let me go, don't let me go. And we're just glad to be alive.
They spent today sifting through what's left to salvage, photos and mementos from their time in the service. The Tennessean says some Chick-fil-A customers are being notified after a cyber attack targeted the company's website and mobile app. The chain says unauthorized users gained access to certain loyalty accounts using credentials that were already compromised elsewhere. Information that may have been exposed includes names, email addresses, phone numbers, addresses stored in customer profiles. Chick-fil-A says it has secured affected accounts and is strengthening fraud detection measures. And health officials releasing updated numbers on the cases of cyclosporiasis. ABC's Yuri Benejoud has details.
The CDC now tracking at least 11,000 cases in 41 states. Many of the additional cases have been reported by Michigan and Ohio. More than 300 people have also been hospitalized. The youngest of those sick, just 2 years old, while the oldest was 95.
Back here in Nashville, plans for a data center near the zoo may face a new roadblock. Channel 4's Marius Payton says Metro Council approved new restrictions overnight after weeks of pressure from neighbors.
So this vote could completely change what happens with that zoo area property. Now, new data centers must go in industrial areas, not directly beside neighborhoods, schools, parks, or other community spaces. Developers will also have to provide public notice, create emergency and backup power plans, monitor noise, and publicly report how much water and energy their facilities use. Now, DC Blocks closed on the property beside the Nashville Zoo just last week. However, council members said the company had not yet submitted new permits. If it applies now, the project will have to meet these new standards. So this could prevent the data center from being built there as currently proposed.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes 65 southbound past Trinity Lane. Hermitage 40 westbound at Stewart's Ferry Pike. In Madison, Tennessee 45 at Rio Vista. And in the Vanderbilt area, got an injury wreck. This is going to be West End at 23rd Avenue. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It is the Matt Murphy Show, final hour of the day. Greg's been hanging out for a while. Melissa, you've been there too. We'll get to your telephone calls coming up in a moment. 615-737-9986. Thank you for being a part of the show on this Wednesday edition. Thank you to Cameron Smith for hanging out with us. We so appreciate his time on these Wednesday visits. You can also check us out on the podcast, All the Best Words. You can find that everywhere where you find anything involving Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And if you can't, let us know. Primarily on the YouTubes. We're over there on the YouTubes. Everybody's on the YouTubes, baby. Jackson is behind the glass. Ken is behind Jackson. And we're getting it done. So we're talking about candidates.
Yeah.
For political office.
Mm-hmm.
You were lamenting that you are no longer in the 5th Congressional District, specifically to vote against Andy Ogles.
Yes.
Why is your frustration with Andy so great? I don't know that I've ever asked you that directly.
So my frustration with Andy stems more from the fact that this has become entirely performative. That everything is about, can I say something shocking for Fox News? I think Andy would be a great pundit on cable news. I don't think that somebody who we want as a leader is just saying things like, there's no place for Muslims in American society. Like fill in the blank of bombastic things Andy said. Look, I get it. Some of this is you got to be part entertainer to be in Congress or elected political office right now. But, that's where he just lost me. I'm like, what's the big initiative? Trump's third term. Like, dude,
come on, man.
Give me something real. Like, and none of it, all of it was extreme. None of it really well thought out. It was a performance.
Well, and to your point, I think that there's a very important conversation to be had about our immigration policy in terms of people who are coming here for the benefit of the United States of America or who are coming here to bring with them their culture to...
They don't want to assimilate. They just want a repeat of where they came here. Yeah, okay.
And in that respect, specific to like Islamic culture, there are plenty of Islamic nations, plenty of places to go to be immersed within Islamic culture. If you're not coming for American culture, and I'm not telling you to leave your religion at the door, there's a conversation to have that there. But this whole, ban Islam in America,
there's no place. It's so when you say things that are patently and facially unconstitutional, you are not a friend of the Constitution anymore in my eyes. And I don't care if you do it for political purposes. If you're like, it's expedient, I'm going to say, well, we're going to do this thing that the Constitution explicitly won't allow. Come on.
Right, it's right there. It's like it's not even in the fourth. It's in the first one.
Right.
You just have to read the first one, and you'll figure it out. What is so concerning about modern politics in the social media age is that you get rewarded for some of that. And I'll give you two examples in our Tennessee politics. Number one, Andy said the thing about Islam. Because there is a side conversation that we need to have about immigration, generally speaking, and all of that, he was rewarded for that comment. And most of the reward came from the Anon trolls online. And so he doubled it down on it. And my concern with Congressman Ogles, to put a real fine point on it, is that when he is challenged on stupid things that he says, he has a tendency to lie.
Yeah.
He ran around for a long time and called himself an economist.
Yep.
And when he finally got called on it, his initial reaction was to say he had never done that. I say I understand the economy. I've never called myself an economist. And people that know Andy know that he was doing that for a long time. Example number two. When we challenged Andy during his first primary campaign on where his money was coming from, he told us his money was not coming from himself. And it was fake money, and it was designed to get other people out of the race.
Right.
That's point number two. Number three, when he did the Islam post, and then it was good to him, and so he decided to double down on the Islam post with the homosexuals or homosexual. It was either homosexuals or homosexuality has no place in America, and that one didn't land the same. And when he was challenged on that, his response was, "Oh, my staffer did it.
Right.
I didn't do that. I didn't have anything to do with it." And I am happy if I know Andy. Y'all tell Andy that look, I understand that this is pissing off Andy Ogles supporters, and that's fine. I hope you're better. I hope you're okay, But that is just a lie. No staffer on Capitol Hill would type out that level of an inflammatory post and post it on their own without telling the candidate. And so you're throwing somebody under the bus to just skirt out of a controversy. I just don't like it.
My deal is he is a crystallization of the moment where there's no accountability, no truth, no nothing. It's just loud and, designed for the performance. It's not designed to lead. It's not designed to serve. It's not designed, for what Tennessee gets out of it. It's very much, will people like it when I say a thing? That's just a bad way to govern. And, I'll say something. I don't know Charlie Hatcher. From what I can tell, He seems like a pretty solid conservative guy. What I can tell about Charlie, one, great chocolate milk, by the way. Two, he's boring. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I want politicians to lead and serve and go to the committee hearings and vote and do their thing and not try to be a weird celebrity. Just do the job, do it well, and stop the freight train of runaway spending that's breaking everything.
What was Knucklehead's name from Florida? Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
When Matt Gaetz came out of Florida, when he first got elected to Congress, I was like, okay.
Firebrand. He's going to
Here we go, baby. Here we go. He got to D.C., he got full of himself, he got Washingtonized, he loved the cocktail set, he loved the cocktail parties, he loved the sound of his own voice, and he mentally destroyed himself.
Yep. I mean, and look, there's several people like that. I mean, Lauren Boebert, another type of, very much like, I'm here for the show, I'm here for the appearance, I like this job, not because of everyone else, but because of me. And when it's I had a friend call it I, me, mineosis. This sort of self-centered, it's all about me. That's not what we should want in our leaders.
What is it called?
I, me, mineosis.
I, me, mineosis.
It's all about, hey, I'm the best
At first,
thing.
I'm like, why are you using fancy? Oh, I get it.
You can see them, and I know most of you guys don't frequent D.C., but if you go to the Capitol Hill Club where Republicans hang out, you hang out in the grill room downstairs, you see the people who want to be seen.
What I say about Washington, and you worked up there, I had the pleasure of going on an annual junket for 12 years. So I got my fill of D.C. for a week at a time, once a year for about 12 years. And people say, oh, Washington's awesome. I said, no, I love Washington, D.C. And I really do. Washington, D.C. has three of my favorite things in the world. History, monuments, and a-holes. In wild abundance. Yeah. All three of them. If you think if you're in Washington, D.C., and you think you just met the biggest a-hole on the face of the planet, just wait.
Just wait.
There's another one coming right around the corner.
Well, it's the big deal. It's you start drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that America is just better off because of you. And we're in danger because of the folks that we've sent. We have hurt ourselves because we played their games when we mistook hot takes for leadership, and the Gates, the Boeberts, the Ogles of the world. I mean, it's not what we need. We need to call it out and just say no. 0044, and I'll clean this up a little bit for FCC reasons, says, I beg to bleeping differ, sir. When things get to the extremes, I has to fight fire with fire. Yeah, sounds super cool. Tell me one thing that Andy Ogles has done. I'll wait. Well, and you know what? 0044, I understand that you want a champion, a warrior. You don't have to do it that way. Number two, you're reminding me of the great scene in Andy Griffith, on the Andy Griffith show. Do you know how? Hey, Andy, because Barney's trying to tell the kids that they've got to push back on something. It's like some bullies or something. It's like, you know how you fight fire? You fight fire with fire. You fight fire with fire, kids. And he's like, oh, you got to fight fire with fire. And then Andy comes into the sheriff's office and, Andy, tell them how to fight fire. With a hose? It's like, right? It's like, you fight fire with a hose. But we've been asked to believe things that weren't true. I hate to break it to you, and this is going to disappoint some of y'all. Y'all have watched all these political ads about how so-and-so is a fearless fighter, and they're going to fight, and they're going to fight. They don't fight. They go and they swipe a card and they press a button. They go sit in committee hearings and hope they get a clip that they can run on cable news. This is not fighting. If they're fighting for you, they would do the hard thing and say, we can't spend this money that I know you guys want because it's going to hurt us. You know who? That's hard. That's a fight. You know who I could listen to all day? I need a little, can you give me audio video when I got camera 2? All right, audio. I've got, I could listen to this guy all day.
According
long.
to the ABA's website, quote, all of us have implicit biases. Would you agree with that statement?
The ABA believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion improves
Would you agree with the statement that, quote, all of us have implicit biases from the ABA's website?
The ABA believes that diversity in all of
Is
its
that a
realms
yes?
is
Can I
important.
take that? It's a yes or no question. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases, as your website says?
The ABA looks to remove barriers, and we examine.
That's not my question, ma'am. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases?
I've expressed what the ABA is doing.
That is the ABA's position, as expressed by their website. Against which groups do you have implicit biases?
The ABA believes that it's important to always
Are you going to filibuster? Because it doesn't make you sound very good. I'm going to ask you again, against which groups do you have implicit biases?
It's important to always examine everyone's point of view and where they may need to consider.
It is. What about your point of view?
I am here as the president of the American Bar Association.
And I'm asking you what your implicit biases are.
The ABA is an entity.
Have you reflected on your implicit biases?
I think about how I operate
What are they?
the world constantly.
Would you like to explain to us what they are?
I am here speaking on behalf of the ABA and the ABA.
That is Representative Brandon Gill out of Texas, and he's becoming one of my new favorites as I watch him in some of these committees.
But that's fair, right? Like
it's
that's
so good. It's low key. But it's researched. It's nuanced. It's like I'm tackling some of the more ridiculous liberal notions that organizations like the American Bar Association are bringing to the table, and I'm tackling you with your own language, with your own words. That's real. That's doing the hard work in a way that is so good.
Yeah, and I mean, that to me is like the job, right? Of we're having a hearing, I'm asking you the questions, you say a thing, I want to know what you mean by that, and you can't tell me, then maybe you shouldn't be there. You're not a very good witness for the ABA. I mean, the job is not a sexy job. The job is not to be a Fox News host. The job is to vote and think and decide and lead, not to be, I'm going to throw a bomb. You think people like it? How many likes will I get?
Right.
That is terrible. We need to stop because we're punishing ourselves when we send these people to Washington.
21 after the hour. Melissa, we'll get to you momentarily. All of you on the telephones, as a matter of fact. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's Matt, it's Cameron, it's the Murphy Show on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Grace Point Healthcare. We call it modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Grace Point Healthcare is located in Franklin, been there for quite some time, convenient to just about anywhere within the sound of our voice. And friends, at Grace Point Healthcare, they deliver. From your experience calling for an appointment, you don't have to wait for a long period of time. I mean, if you're sick today, you don't want to wait till a week from Sunday or whatever it is. To go to the doctor, you want to go as soon as possible, and they'll get you in same day or next day most often. Secondarily, when you get to the office, they don't make you wait there either. They don't believe in that either. If your appointment's at 2 o'clock, you ought to be seen at 2 o'clock. That's the way that it should be. They're your primary care provider from newborns to seniors, and they offer direct pay performance, affordable convenience, and comprehensive medicine. Deliver the old-fashioned way. All treatment decisions are made between you and your doctor. The insurance company has nothing to do with it. And you can sign up for the Smart Care Plan, pay that with your HSA. Ask them about that when you call 599-6868, 599-6868. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Shane Ring wants to, dare I say, disabuse you of a particular notion. And that is, if it's not open enrollment, there are no changes that you can make in your health insurance program. That is not true. Now, you have to understand the health insurance game, and Shane does. You have to understand who you're dealing with in terms of the insurance company, or is the government involved, and Shane does. You have to understand health insurance, generally speaking, and Shane does. Also, you don't need to be beholden by one or two or three insurance companies. You need to be independent, and Shane is. He shops all of the insurance companies, will find you the right deal for you. Friends, he has a deal available for you at Cover Nash. All you need to do is make the telephone call, schedule an appointment in his office in Brentwood, stop by and see him, or you can do it on the phone, 615-465-0023, 465-0023. Real health coverage managed by you, not the government. It's Cover Nash. Online, covernash.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My apologies. I was finishing up a little note on the super text line. I try to respond to as many as I can get to. I was responding to many of you asking the question. I'm going to go ahead and answer it on a 100,000 watt platform: iHeart, Spotify, TuneIn, Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. Dr. Kevin Mitchell, if you're listening right now, cover your ears. During the Wellness Institute of Nashville advertisement, yes, I was attempting to say that Dr. Kevin, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team had dedicated their lives to helping alleviate your pain. We have reviewed the tape. I'm going to go to official tape reviewer, young Y2JJ Willie Action Jackson, for the full report. Jackson, you've reviewed the tape. The accusation on the table is that instead of dedicate, Matt Murphy unfortunately said defecate. What have you found out, Jackson?
You said poopy.
Yeah. I giggled a little when you said it. But it was a commercial, so I'm not supposed to laugh.
Did I say they've defecated their lives?
Yeah. You caught yourself.
Did I?
It was
I know.
It was there. I know, because the text line immediately lit up with people saying they defecated.
They defecated their lives. In my defense, I had just done a story about people defecating on the street.
Yeah, you had.
That's on me. Miss Norma was attempting to call us. Ms. Norma, I want to help you understand how we do things. I'm happy to take your telephone call. What you can't do, and God bless you for engaging. God bless you for being an advocate for Marsha Blackburn. Apparently, Ms. Norma's a Blackburn fan. No, she's not a Blackburn fan. She's a Blackburn enemy. We don't know. Okay. One way or the other, she wanted to talk about Marsha Blackburn. Norma, what you have to do, you have to call, and when Jackson puts you on hold, you have to stay there. What you can't do is hang up and call back and then get put on hold, and hang up and call back and then get put on hold. It's going to hurt you. So give us a call, and we'd love to talk to you, Ms. Norma. 615-737-9986. Like we are enjoying a conversation with Melissa right now. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, Matt and Cameron and everybody else.
How's it going?
It's great.
Good.
I have a question for you.
All right.
Okay.
Put aside the fact that Marsha will not debate or really even do an interview. Let's just pretend that's not a thing. Tell me why I should not vote for her. I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just asking a question. Why should I not vote for her?
It's an interesting phraseology to the question. Like, instead of asking why you should, You're
Why
asking
shouldn't you?
why shouldn't we? Because my answer is this. Marsha Blackburn went to Washington, D.C. as a champion for conservatism. Included in that, she was a champion for state ownership of so many of these issues and for the state to be in control of the vast majority of governance over our lives. And in the time that she's been in Washington, D.C., the federal government has only gotten bigger. The federal budgets have only gotten bigger. Our federal debt has only gotten bigger. And she has failed in her mission. If her mission was to bring conservative government to the people, she failed in that mission as a United States Senator. Now, her excuse, Melissa, will be, well, I'm just one person in a body of, that's every time they fail, that's what they say. But I would say she failed in that mission. Now, perhaps in her defense, as an executive outside of the legislative body, she'll do a better job in the state of Tennessee. And maybe she will, and maybe we'll get an opportunity to see that. Cameron, your thoughts?
Yeah, mine's actually the same argument I made in the column I wrote about soccer, is that the executive job is a very difficult job for anybody. And to see that as a retirement plan for a career politician is something that, that's probably my biggest reservation, that if I were having to argue against her candidacy, I would just say a career politician who wants to retire as governor. That's it. That's what I got. I mean, they're all going to vote basically the same way, or not vote. They're all going to sign the laws. They're going to do conservative things. There's not going to be a lot of policy differences between any of the Republican candidates. It's more of energy style communication that I'm looking for. And, the truth is, even though I'm criticizing, playing devil's advocate, I think of the available candidates, she's probably the best equipped to be that executive.
Well, if I may ask a follow-up, my follow-up would be, what qualifies Monty for the job? Because I know very little about him. He just, for me, he just kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, and I mean, your instinct's probably pretty correct on that. I mean, he is a fairly short-term member of the House of Representatives in the Tennessee General Assembly. So he hasn't been around very long. Not a lot of people know about him. I'm looking something up real quick.
I think for him, some of his policy positions, I mean, they're all, again, going to be pretty consistent. I would say if I was making a pro argument for Fritz, is he's not pandering on this weird China stuff. He seems to be that we got bigger issues than this. And so that is a feather in his cap that the other candidates don't have right now. And I would argue that for him. But again, I don't think, based on what I'm seeing from his platform and what's there, that he's bringing much different to the table.
So, and the way that I was looking something up real quick, Melissa, because I wanted to be as accurate as possible in my answer, and my answer is not flip. It is, and you're going to think it is when you hear it, but I'm being as serious as I can be. Monty Fritz, his qualifications: he is over 30 years old. He is a United States citizen, and he's been a citizen of the state of Tennessee for 7 years. Those are the three things that you have to be in order to run for or serve as governor of the state. Other than that, it is up to the people that vote for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering my questions, guys. Y'all have a great evening.
Well, thank you, Melissa. I mean, it's certainly valid, and we'll get to more of that in just a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yeah, that's a very unique way of thinking about a candidate that I haven't done, and that is posing it to the negative. 34 after the hour, Super Talk. Bottom line, friends, it is a dangerous world that we live in. Y'all know that. You see the news on a day-to-day basis. You listen to the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And I'm not here to tell you anything bad's going to happen to you in your workplace, in your school, in your church. And God forbid it does. I hope that you never have to deal with something like this. But just about every news story that I see where there's a shooting or workplace violence, the people say, we never thought it would happen here. We never thought it would happen to us. Let's not be unprepared. Hope is not a plan. Defend systems, that's a plan. Brink Fiddler understands exactly how to train you and your personnel for active shooter response, workplace violence prevention. He'll do a site survey and threat assessment. He and his team will offer security improvement consultation, emergency and intruder action plans, rapid response, medical training. That's all for your people, all for your staff, all for your facility, to make sure that in the unlikely event that something like this happens to you, you don't have to hope. You'll know exactly what to do. That's Defend Systems. DefendSystems.com, 615-236-6484, 236-6484. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you about Kraft Body Scan for just a moment. Ladies, the couple's heart and lung scan is designed, obviously, to encourage you to get in, to say hello to the people of Kraft Body Scan, and to learn more about them. But secondarily, it's also designed to encourage you to get your guy in, because we men don't tend to like to go and figure out what's going on inside of our bodies, right? I mean, we just are, some rub some dirt on it kind of mentality. But you don't need to do that, especially when it comes to things that are happening on the inside. Maybe you're not symptomatic, fellas, or maybe you've noticed that something feels a little bit off. One way or the other, heart disease remains a serious issue. Some men assume that feeling fine means that they are healthy and they are fine. That is not the case. Ladies, do us a favor and help your fella get in to Kraft Body Scan for the $99 couples heart and lung scan. Just tell them you're doing it. Tell them, hey, you're doing it for me. And then get them in there to see if everything's on the up and up in the A-OK. That'll give you that peace of mind. TogetherWeScan.com, promo code Matt50. TogetherWeScan.com, promo code Matt50, or 615-436-1000, 436-1000. It's Kraft Body Scan. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for being around. We appreciate you. You've seen the Johnny Garrett ad, right?
No, which one?
Oh my goodness. The ad, I call it the Johnny Garrett ad. It's the Van Hillary ad. By all means, let's just go ahead. This is 30 seconds of your life that you'll want to replay over and over and over again. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here's the, you ready for me there, Jackson? You got me? Audio and video, please. So the Van Hillary people tell me that Johnny Garrett's folks fired the first shot because they're running an ad where Van is, wait for it now, in a van, and he's riding around, and you don't really see his face, but on his, he's got a name badge on that says Hillary. It's obviously supposed to be him. And he's got a photo of Bill and Hillary Clinton dangling in the van, and it's just, it's swamp. He's a swamp critter, and they end up stuck in the swamp. And he's taking money at some point, and all of it's AI. The entire thing's AI, but they don't show his face. Here's the response ad from the Van Hillary people.
Crushing the woke left. Not Johnny Garrett. Garrett donated to the Democrat Party to elect Nancy Pelosi Speaker. Garrett's DEI law firm, an LGBTQ group, promoting book clubs on systemic racism. Donating to Kamala Harris. Woke Johnny missed votes to crack down on illegal immigration. Banning DEI. Backing law enforcement. Why? Because woke DEI-loving Johnny Garrett wants to transition Tennessee from conservative to woke.
Van Hillary and I approve this message.
Okay, so Van Hillary approved that message.
Yeah.
All right, number one, I appreciate the fact that Van Hillary just owned it, and he didn't hide behind some third-party PAC group and tell them to run the ad, as so many of the political candidates in Tennessee are doing.
Yes.
Number two, this is the funniest political ad I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's pretty funny because, I mean, I don't think it's true, not a bit of it. I don't think Johnny Garrett is a woke liberal. But hold on, this scene, this shot of him. Hold on, where he's sleeping. So he's there. He's snoring. Woke Johnny missed votes banning DEI.
The level of stupidity that we've reached in these ads, and I'm still waiting for the Rose Camp to come out and flush some wonton soup.
Hold on just a second.
To Kamala Harris. Woke Johnny missed votes to crack down on illegal immigration. Banning DEI. Backing law.
I don't know why it makes me laugh.
Johnny wants to eat the babies. I mean, it's just silly.
So it is silly, but the Van Hillary folks were quick to tell me that they're allowed to do this AI stuff in a federal ad. That is illegal in state advertising, in state political election advertising. It's illegal to use AI. Apparently, they passed a law.
Why?
Apparently, they passed a law.
Can
I don't
we
know.
unpass that?
I don't know.
I want AI in the ads. I want them to be ridiculous.
Yeah, but it might mislead the voters.
That's what political ads are, Matt.
I know. So apparently there was a function earlier this week in D.C. that Johnny Garrett was at, and everyone at the function from all across the United States, I'm not making this up, were yelling at him, "Where's your transgender T-shirt?" And Garrett is apparently taking it in stride, and he believes, a source told me that he told them that he believes this is actually helping him.
Well,
because nobody believes it.
Yeah. The problem for Republicans in Tennessee is they basically vote the same way and believe the same stuff. So they have to differentiate themselves from each other in the primary. So they have to just say weird stuff.
Well, so Johnny's running ads that Van Hillary is an old school swamp critter from the 1990s that was chummy with Bill and Hillary Clinton, and he was in a van taking money in the back of a van. And so Van Hillary's people respond by saying that Johnny's woke DEI hanging out with drag queens and asleep while votes are going on.
And Johnny strikes me as a drag queen hangout type guy, you know?
Just not even a question.
Every time I see him here at the station, I'm just like, where's your drag queen get up?
Yeah.
Why aren't you wearing it?
You obviously just took off your fake eyelashes and your makeup.
I think we should make ads that are like, I'm a politician. I'm going to vote like the other guys, and I'm going to tell you I'm a fighter.
I will say this. I did not receive satisfaction in the conversation that Johnny and I had about the racetrack issue, and I do believe that there was a moment in time that Garrett was doing the bidding of John Ingram on a committee. Garrett forcefully pushed back on that notion with me in this studio, and I'll let his words speak for themselves, but I didn't buy it, and I still don't buy it, and it's still very bothersome to me that Ingram wielded that much power and weight around an issue that should have been a pretty standard thing.
Do we know where that race stands? Like, I mean, is it too close to call? What are we talking about?
It's my understanding it's fairly tight. And it's tight primarily. It tightened up considerably. Well, it loosened up when they moved the district lines and Garrett was behind. What I was told earlier today, Cameron, is that Garrett was behind by over 10 points when they changed the district lines, just overnight. It was a neck-and-neck race, and he was behind by over 10 overnight, and now he has closed that gap, and now it's neck-and-neck again. That's what I'm told. So really the third candidate in that race, John Henry, And I had John Henry in the studio, and he's confident. They're all confident they can win. I would say this, that John Henry might be the deciding factor in that race.
Meaning that he's going to pull from the others?
He'll get, but who does he pull from is the question. Let's talk to, who's been holding the longest? Michael? Is that right? Michael, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man. I just want to tell you, I've experienced negative stuff from Marsha Blackburn's office.
Uh-huh.
I called them. When they called me back was over a year later, right in her re-election fight for Senate. That's when she called me back. That's when her office called me back. And I know a couple other people called, couldn't get through. I couldn't. I told them to call me back at certain hours because I wasn't available all the time so they could reach me. I had an issue. I know somebody else, veteran, that had an issue. They said they would help. They didn't help do a damn thing. Excuse my language, but I'm not voting for it because of that.
Who are you voting for?
I'm from Georgia, dude, and I used to have like 4 or 6 congressional and Senate friends. Not friends, close friends, but distant. Every time I call, they would call me back. The staff would.
Sure.
Every time.
So who's your candidate for governor?
I'm very disappointed that she can't manage a freaking staff that she don't even pay for.
Who are you if you're against Marsha, have you decided who you're going for?
Not yet. I got to do some research because, like I said, I used to have all my Washington friends, election officials have retired. But I was very disappointed in that. Well, I voted for her.
I mean, if you're a political figure, and let me promise you this too, it's not just with political figures. I've experienced it in my public life and on the radio where, I get a lot of email. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to a senator or a House of Representatives member, but I'm telling you that I try to remind myself to make sure that you don't promise something that you can't deliver. Because if you do and you don't deliver it, people remember that. And every listener matters. Every relationship matters. And in politics, every voter matters. And so you never know, one little step, no matter how it happens.
Those chickens come back home to roost.
Yeah, you can make enemies out of friends. Hello, Rick.
Hey, man, how are you, buddy?
Rick, I'm great. I hope you are.
Cameron, good to hear you, too. Now, correct me if I'm wrong right off the bat, just say you're wrong, and that's fine. But yesterday when I was listening to you and Monty, I was all prepared to vote for him, and he come out with he didn't care if abortion was because of incest or rape, that you ought to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law for murder, and that he would certainly vote for that and pull for that. And that turned me on against him right away. Now, am I wrong about that?
No, I think you're characterizing his position fairly accurately. It's a two-part answer. Number one, he is on record as saying that he would support criminal prosecution of women that have had abortions. And he said that you can't go back retroactively, but that if you have an abortion, a chemical abortion or an actual abortion, which are currently illegal in the state of Tennessee, but if you do anything that he would consider to be, or the law would consider to be, an abortifacient, that is a criminal act because that's the willing taking of another life. That's what he believes. And then he was asked a question. He was asked a question, Rick, as to whether or not he would create an exception for rape or incest in terms of making abortion illegal. And he said no, that he would not, while it was obviously a tragic situation and an evil situation, that he does not believe in punishing the life that was created out of that evil circumstance, is what he said yesterday.
Okay, well, I appreciate it because that sews it up for me. I wouldn't vote for him if he was the only one in there, because if my wife got raped and got pregnant, I don't know what I'd do, first of all, I guess, immediately, because it hadn't happened to me. But I don't want a politician telling me what my family needs to do in those kind of cases. And his reasoning, it doesn't make any sense to me. If it's religious, he's wrong. He can't prove that in the Bible. And I know enough about the Bible to know there are no big sins in those little sins. So when's he going to vote to put liars in jail? When's he going to vote to put thieves to death and that kind of stuff? And, and when is the person that raped your wife going to go to some liberal judge and get visiting rights to his son because he's the biological father? And don't act like that can't happen, because we got the stupidest stuff going on. And he is wrong on that, and I wouldn't vote for him if he's the only guy in there.
Rick, thank you for the call. Thank you for the perspective. I appreciate you very much. 52 after the hour. 3425 says, did we ever get an answer why Garrett voted against the racetrack? He voted against the right to race legislation. He claimed that he did it because he didn't have a chance to read it and study it. It was a page and a half long, and he knew it was going to be on the calendar for 9 days. And he voted, he wanted it to go to summer study, and it did. He sent it to summer study. And what I am told is he did so at the request/demand of John Ingram, the owner of Nashville Soccer Club and the owner of Geodis Park. Johnny Garrett denies that accusation. I'll leave it for you to decide what you think is real. He says that after 9 days of knowing something was going to be on the calendar, a bill that was a page and a half long and something that's been passed in multiple other states, that he couldn't figure it out in time to vote for it in committee. That's according to Johnny Garrett. I don't believe that, but you know what? That's just me. 53 after the hour on Super Talk. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy for USS. Your foundation means everything when it comes to your home. USS protects that foundation, and they have for a long, long time. Over 30,000 satisfied customers since 1994. That's a long time to do anything. Friends, you're doing it right if you're doing it since 1994, and they're doing it right at USS. They understand Tennessee folks. They understand Tennessee soil. They understand Tennessee homes, and they can help alleviate your worries by giving you peace of mind. That's what it's all about. USSTN.com is the website. That's where you start the journey. USSTN.com. Give yourself peace of mind. Get the local professionals. It is USS. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Eurofix. For 26 years, almost, I think we're going on the 26th anniversary. Eurofix has been around, and they've been helping people just like you. You know, there's a lot of things that we're split on, politics maybe, sports teams, whatever it might be. But there's one thing we agree on. Taking your car in for repairs can be a hassle, complicated. Your repair is only as good as the person under the hood. Most of your problems in fixing your vehicle is a knowledge issue. They're not trying to rip you off. They just don't know what to do. There's a 15-minute no-wrench inspection at Eurofix. That's pretty cool. That starts that way so that you know exactly what's going on before they touch your car. Plus, a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty and all the work they perform. Rental cars available at every visit. Locally owned, family run for over 25 years, 5 separate locations. It's Eurofix, myEurofix.com, myEurofix.com, or 844-EUROFIX. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, only a minute or two left. Cameron, what things do we need to get to that we've not gotten to today?
Tent. I don't know how much you talked about tent on the windows of the cars.
What?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Jackson is an anti-tentite.
I could see that. Captain Life Championship.
Or maybe he's against the anti-tentites.
I don't know. I just think it's weird.
I want an official position on tent tomorrow on your gubernatorial platform, Jackson. What's the column about?
The column is about our fiscal position and about how we trust fund, Social Security, all the things that are going belly up and we don't have a plan to deal with.
I like it. Read Cameron Smith's words in the Tennessean. You can hear him often. You can hear him this weekend, too, on All the Best Words, our podcast together on Super Talk 99.7 WTN platforms. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Jackson Williams. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Give me a little hee-hee.
Hee-hee.
So
for
weird.
Jackson, I don't know why he's doing it. For Jackson, for Ken Weaver, Matt Murphy, speaking and to saying, have a wonderful evening. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.